and doesn't know what Rocky knows and doesn't know. And then there's also his feelings about Rocky. I especially don't want to hit the jury to hear about, about the white people. Race, no role in this whatsoever. The rest of that tape is pretty innocuous.
Hold on, Your Honor. He's checking to see.
I just want to verify all that out. We can't unring this now.
Yeah, I want to know that that's
So,
the tape.
I can say for sure the white people comment was taken out.
Good. What about the potential sentence?
Do you have an example?
5 minutes and 25 seconds to 6 minutes.
I think what he's asking, Your Honor, is because the time would have changed because he's had to edit what he's asking for. He knows what it's like.
Oh, it changed. It
It was
changed.
like 19 years, something like that.
I think he said something about the minimum of this and a maximum of 25 years.
Okay, yeah.
He also mentions that attempted murder. It's not attempted murder.
You're saying looking at anywhere from 14 to like 20 something years?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there a mention of attempted murder?
Might have let it in,
It's not attempted murder. If you can't find it,
took out the.
All right, guys, we are back. Hey, guys, we are back. We are back in court. The judge is trying to decide what additional evidence he wants the jury to hear. And this is being done outside
Just on those two.
of the presence of the jury. So I want to let you guys know we are back over here talking
he
mess.
talks about on the third transcript, he talks about his feelings about Jabari. He talks about his calls, his texts that were exchanged prior to the incident. I think it's pretty innocuous.
I'm definitely not trying to ring bells that can't be unlocked. If they want to sit down.
So they're talking about what kinds of things need to be struck and not presented in front of the jury. One of which was Relly was saying things about white people. Discussion of the potential sentence of 24 years. Discussion of attempted murder. None of that is admissible.
This defendant is convicted. He's looking at getting 24 years. That's absurd. The people have always said that we would not be seeking, and we would have no grounds for seeking the maximum sentence in this case. What we have said, if we talk about a sentence, or we're willing to give probation and suspend time, if it's conditional, then the absolute is probably going to be about 8 years in state prison. So you will not be looking at it as a court order. You serve about 2/3 of that. I just want to make sure that we don't have this misinformation being spread in the time.
No, you shouldn't be talking about potential sentence and what he could or couldn't. No. That's
Now, can you tell the jury
That's messed up. Because if the total sentence is 24, that needs to be told to the jury. Because you don't have any individual choice of when you make parole or when you make parole or probation, whatever it is. So no, if he's facing 24, if you're gonna share a time with the jury, you need to talk about 24. So the state is saying the jury shouldn't be referenced of the 24 years due to the fact that he could spend a lot less time if he were to make probation or parole. No. He doesn't have control over that. Absolutely not. They're trying to decide what types of things need to be struck from the jury hearing. And so they said certain things like talking about white people, like white people wouldn't understand this, and comments along those lines. Yeah, you can't have that. First of all, that's insulting. They done sat there and gave you their whole 2 weeks. So whether they're white, purple, brown, or green, clearly they were selected for the jury because someone thought they were intelligent enough to handle the responsibility. Thank you, Keisha. Love you too, Capricorn. No, great question. You can't access your phone while you're in the jury bench, but like it's probably in the jury room. They probably keep their purses, bags, and phones. but they are instructed they're not supposed to Google the case or anything like that. Maybe they ready to wrap this thing up. Apparently, there's been some discussion about a surprise witness, y'all. So we're gonna hear soon. Oh yeah, black letter law is there and said there is a surprise witness here. It said, I promise I wouldn't give his name. Soon come. We will find shortly. Who is this surprise witness, y'all? I just love y'all. Thank y'all for doing this with me. I really enjoy this legal community we're building out here. So what's going on now is they are trying to decide what can and cannot be presented in front of the jury. There is a surprise witness. How can they ensure the jury isn't looking online? Because they can't be. Like, for example, they're not supposed to be accessing their phone. If they do, they'll be kicked off the jury and get in big trouble with the judge. They'll probably be admonished.
Why don't you come on up and show me what's been taken
I've been a
out?
juror. Has anyone else on the live? Drop down in the chat. Let us know if you've been a juror and what kind of case it was. I was actually called for a civil case, but that was too boring. So I showed up for jury duty for a criminal case and got picked. This was when I was actually applying to law school, and I ended up making my personal statement about it. All right. They're trying to work some things out, y'all. So some of the things that they've been discussing before is it sounds like, so there's a surprise witness in the court. I'm not sure who. I don't think it's going to be Rihanna. Because like I said, it won't be Rihanna because they're not allowed to. If she were going to be a trial witness, she would not have been allowed to watch testimony of prior witnesses beforehand. They don't let you do that when you're on the witness list. But whoever is in there, it sounds like what they're trying to do is it sounds like that person may have given like preliminary testimony or perhaps attended like something where they were deposed and gave testimony previously, and that they're trying to decide what of that person's testimony could be presented either to the jury or, for example, asked about. So if for example, this is Relly's testimony, there are some racist kind of stuff he was saying. Like he was like, you can't do that with white people on the jury or whatever he said. The judge is now determining what aspects of this testimony can be presented in front of the jury. So we're looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, probably Wale. I think so. Ooh, yeah. Y'all are so smart. This is why I love y'all. Oh, yeah. So people drop down in the chat. What kind of cases that y'all have been on jury duty before? Dama, thank you. Thank you so much, babe. Love you too. Kiki said, I was a juror for a statutory R case here in DC and learned so much about herpes. Oh, see, that's kind of case. Like, God forbid, if I had a child and was in a situation that involved something like that, if you give my baby the herpes, oh, first of all, her daddy, whoever he's going to be, is going to get your tail. And then second of all, that is a great reason to bring those kind of shit. Because, it really depends. It depends on the age range. Like for me, if my child was a high school freshman and this boy was a senior, I don't see that the same as a 21-year-old with my child. But the nurse said, I'm a nurse practitioner kicking into C. I've seen enough of herpes. Oh, Kiki. Keisha said, I've never been, but I want to so badly. So I was going to say, if you actually want to be on a jury, when you get that jury notice, if you get one for civil, I can only talk about Dallas County, which is where I got my notice. They're just happy that you show up. So like, if you show up to the criminal courthouse instead of civil, like I did, they still took me. They were like, okay, at least you showed up. Oh, Sunflower was on a grand jury in New York. How much did you get paid to be on that grand jury and how long did it convene? Let us know. What were the hours? part of the challenge with a grand jury, and every state does it differently, is that like I know in Texas, you have to commit to 3 months being on a grand jury. So you're going to hear all the different cases that come up. You don't get paid very much. So it's a limited number of people who can literally afford to do it. It's a lot of elderly people, disabled people, people who have some other income stream. Oh, Danielle says she was a juror for a murder case in Rochester. The nursing game says it's the unwanted gift that keeps on giving, talking about herpes. Alicia, you're a juror in an assault case. Did you find him guilty in Georgia? Let's see. Oh, they were found guilty. She said 100%. All right. So we are waiting for them to come on back. This is crazy. Like, it's like the hurry up and wait game here. Let me see. Let me see what we've missed, if anything. What is this? No. Okay. We didn't miss too much. Let me go back to the beginning. While they're on this little break, I'm just going to kind of roll back and replay what they did. It was just a few minutes ago. I want to hear the start. Here we go. This was 15 minutes ago. This is arguments being made outside of the presence of the jury. Let's hear what they
Okay.
This is my concern.
It's Wale. Just returned. Okay. Wait. No, you just.
I'm going to tell you what my concern is. If more was taken out, okay, but there's some things that I definitely don't want
okay,
to
wait.
do.
Here we go. Hold on.
On the 3-minute.
No.
It's Wale.
After Rocky's arrest in this case, and better say you're friends with Rocky, right?
Yes.
Okay. After Rocky's arrest in this case, did Relly ask you to do anything for him?
Yes, he did.
What did he ask you to do?
A number of things, but he really wanted to boost his social media presence with certain articles from this case.
Okay. In particular, do you remember any?
It was a long list, but they were high publications.
TMZ.
TMZ, Rolling Stone, High Society, Complex, so
He
on.
wanted him to do what with
So-
these?
To promote these articles for his social media presence.
Yes,
Okay.
for his further, to boost his social media as well, yeah,
And that was articles about this case.
correct.
Okay. When did, just refer to as Relly for this conversation. When did Relly, that's how you know him, by the way, right?
Correct.
When did Relly this call you?
Just last week on my birthday when I was in Paris, Thursday.
Thursday, the January 30th?
Yeah, around
Last Thursday.
9 p.m. in
That's your
Paris,
testimony.
So, other than that, it's probably 12 noon here.
Yeah. And have you been following this case?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Okay. And on that day, on that Thursday, did you see anything particular about this case on Thursday when you watched?
Yeah, just my name being brought up against lies, fabrication, just not the truth. So,
What in particular did you hear? Who did you hear from?
Relly specifically,
What did he say?
recordings were fake. Recordings were not him, not I. And I'm a pretty private person, so when people lie on my name, it kind of gets me upset. So yeah.
Okay. Now, did you really say any articles about this case in the last 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. And on October 17th of 2020.
Everybody look broke.
An article about Judge Arnold.
Yes.
On December 24th, 2024, you sent in the Daily Mail article entitled "Rihanna Fears Heartbreaking Consequence of ASAP Rocky's Trial with a Smiley Face."
Understand the relevance of these questions, though, specifically.
You asked that. December 27th, 2024.
I don't think they
Relly
friends.
sent you an article from
This is
the Daily
against
Mail
Relly, not
entitled "Rihanna
Rocky.
Fears Heartbreaking Consequence of ASAP Rocky's Trial with the Smiley Face next to it."
Yes,
To be here today, so where do you come from?
Paris friends,
Okay. And what
Oh,
are you doing in Paris, France?
grabbing meetings, doing business deals, trying to invest in this new tech startup.
Okay. So you're there for work?
Yes,
You don't live?
no,
Okay. You live where?
New Jersey,
When did you get here in Los Angeles, sir?
last night late,
Okay. And why did you come here?
really clear my name, tell the truth. Again, I just hated seeing my name tied to, lies and untruthful words.
And did it concern you as far as your professional reputation that this guy was accusing you of doctoring and making up recordings?
Yes,
Would you ever do that?
no, never. I'm not there yet with like the technology, I would say, so yeah.
But even if you were there, would you
Yeah,
do that?
no, never, it's not honest, right? Yeah.
Did you make recordings of conversations with Relly?
Yes.
How many recordings did you make?
Two, about in 2022, I believe the dates were, I forget the April date, but mid-April and then August 15th-ish. Yeah.
And you said that's based on your recollection, right?
Yeah,
I think the metadata may actually say May, but around April, May
Yeah,
of 2022?
yeah,
Okay. And then August of 2022, correct?
yes,
Okay. And those are two conversations recorded?
yes,
Okay. Did you give those recordings to Rocky?
yes.
Okay. And first of all, why did you give them to Rocky?
I think it was just conversations he needed to hear.
And why do you think he needed to hear them?
Because they're about him and a lot of it seemed just suspicious, talking about monetary things.
And when did you send them to Rocky?
As soon as I finished the conversation,
Now, when you sent those recordings, did one of the two recordings, did you have to split one of them into two files because of the size?
yeah, you can't really send certain data, or if the file size is too big, you gotta cut it down to send it.
So how did you get here today?
To the plane, commercial plane.
Last night
Yes,
from Paris?
yes,
And are you going back later today?
yeah, a few hours.
So it's a 1 day turnaround,
Yeah,
just to be here?
yeah.
Who paid for the cost of your ticket?
Damien, Branderson,
And that's Rocky's entertainment attorney,
entertainment lawyer,
and that means Rocky paid for the cost of the ticket, correct?
I believe.
that's smart to get that out of the way. So that the state can't surprise you.
Myself, the CEO, staff, and any people in the administration. So,
Yep, Kelly, Kiki.
us for the first time ever this morning.
Prior to this, no.
No, what,
This morning, yes.
This
This
morning
morning, yes.
was the first time you've ever met any of us.
Correct.
Okay. Did we ever speak before this morning?
No.
This morning, did we play recordings?
Correct. Yes.
And what were those recordings?
There were the recordings that I took.
And you mentioned Danny Grant's and Rocky's entertainment attorney. What was the first time? you
Chantel,
ever
this
heard
is
from him?
Wally. This is
I did
Wally?
Recently, while I was watching the tapes.
Was it when this individual brother was testifying about you document tapes?
Correct. He wasn't the only one contacting me about.
He was in tapes where he recorded calls. This guy recorded calls where Relly was telling him about how he was going to get ASAP for his money. Yes, he has an IG. Somebody in the chat dropped Relly's IG if you know it.
Sure.
I think there's two events that's kind of.
Keisha, this is going to be good. Don't worry, Keisha. It's going to be good.
Let's want to give it a second.
Yeah.
Somebody said he got on a mechanic suit. I think he's about to fix somebody's car.
You okay? Do you want to go in the back and get rid of the car?
He's going to install a carburetor in
Oh, we
just
have
a
to walk
moment.
out too. We have to
Just-
Would you like a cough drop from both the prosecution and the defense?
I did
Also
too.
better.
They're trying to kick out the copper.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that water as well. I took a lot of medication as well.
No, you have nothing to be sorry about. Was that? Of course. Oh, you want to step out?
Yes, please.
Alex? Oh, Alex, okay, go to the door there, Alex. You'll be out.
We got a copper. I think the copper is a juror. But yes, so this guy, ASAP Rocky sent this guy money to fly from Jersey, or actually I think he said he was in Paris, here today
Cut the camera while we're-
to testify. That would make sense that he was allowed to test. Okay, so he said that he was in Paris. And it seems like this is out of order because this person, Wiley, would be a witness for the defense, and it doesn't seem like the state has rested its case yet. So usually the state rests its case, then the defense begins its defense. However, if you have a really important witness that's time sensitive like this, that's coming from another country, they can alter the order of witnesses. So what I'm not clear of is whether the state has rested. But what I am clear of is that it does appear that it does appear that this is clearly ASAP's witness, Rocky's witness. And so what he said is he came to clear his name. That it was said by Relly that the audio recordings that he made were fake, and they're not fake. And he doesn't like being called a liar, so he's here to clear his name. Oh, baby. See, this is why you don't get up on that stand and say stuff like, it's fake, it's fake. Because you know what? When you say it's fake, they're going to bring somebody else in to prove you wrong. Now you look like a double liar. Now you look, yes, so Wiley got flued out. Now it was very smart of ASAP's lawyer to very quickly touch it and go, establish the fact of who paid for your flight. He said, Damien. Damien is ASAP's manager. So he went further. He said, so Damien, ASAP's manager? He said, yes. So he said, so it's likely that ASAP paid for your ticket. He said, well, yeah, probably. Good. We got that out of the way. And here's the thing. In my view, that's not paying for testimony. It is no different than how I would have paid some money to get an expert there in 24 hours. If something came out in testimony last Thursday that I felt needed to be clarified by the end of this trial, you spend what needs to be spent so you don't have to spend 24 years in jail for a crime you didn't commit. So yes, Wiley got flued out. And then there's like a coughing juror, so they took a little tiny break just now. I can imagine the call he had with Relly sounded suspect, so maybe he started to record. Yes, now this was 2 calls that recorded back in 2022. And what happened last week is they just asked Relly about the calls. Like, hey, is it true that you told Wiley you were going to get this in for his money? Is it true that you said you were going to get paid off of this? Is it true that, you said XYZ? And he was like, no. So then they pulled out the audio recording. Well, because Relly told the judge it wasn't him, it was fake, it was not admitted into evidence. That is how that goes. But now that Relly is here, oh baby, it can be admitted into evidence. Previously, it could only be admitted to impeach. Now it can be admitted all the way. And that's what they're fixing to do. Yeah, well, when a witness has to come that far, so usually like witnesses are expected to get them, if they're within 100 miles, get themselves there. I still think that that's not reasonable because you don't know what people have going on. People need hotel rooms. And 100 miles in LA, that could be 3 hours each way. So here, this guy is coming from Paris, and ASAP Rocky paid for him to get there. And here's the thing. If I got wrapped up in this ish on Thursday, and they established he's only here for the day to testify and take his butt back wherever he's gonna come from. So it's not like he's here on a vacation. You know, who wants to fly in to LA on a Monday and leave the next day? Nobody. Like he ain't here on a Friday or a Friday. He ain't there to kick it. If your brother doesn't dress the way you like, isn't a reason to overlook the brother. Sorry, but not sorry, from a sister who's been married 14 years. Do you dress your man now? I love a man that'll let me dress him. Yeah. So that is why those calls were important. Chantel really thought he was. Oh, that's probably true. Really thought he was safe because Wale was in Paris. Maybe he called him in Paris and was like, "Say, man, what's up?" We're gonna get more of the substance in the context, but the gist of it is, "Hey, why are you up there lying on me?" And he's like, "Whoa, ain't nobody lying on you." But what it is while Relly is shocked because Relly had no idea until he sat there in the witness stand that Wally reported him.
Visual. I was concerned. I know.
Here we go.
Mrs. Jemmy, so you said, Mr. Grant's dating price, payment order for the first time on Thursday.
Correct.
After what you saw on TV occurred in this case.
Correct.
So he did watch it on TV.
False case.
Correct.
Before that, have you heard of anyone from Rocky's defense team?
No.
Okay. And no one ever told you to be dependent on calling, correct?
No.
But then you saw on television, you were accused of doctoring up tapes, correct?
Correct. I don't know.
I'm not objecting on any legal questions, I'm just asking.
Yeah, it's right, it's leading, same.
A little less, I'll try not to. Never would be appreciated.
So, the recordings, I think I asked this, I'm not sure, before we broke, did we play for you the recordings this morning? Which you were
Correct.
Yes, okay. And what were those two recordings?
Conversations with his brother and I.
Okay. The May 2022,
Yes.
August 2022. And by the way, where were you when you made those recordings?
In New Jersey, my apartment.
Okay, and did brother say where he was?
In New York.
And I'm going to show you the three recordings, to show you the screen, the three. By the way, when I said I'm going to show you the three recordings. Did you videotape the recordings?
Yes.
Okay. So you audio recorded the recordings, but you videotaped.
Yeah, I believe video is just better than capitalize on, or just capture everything. Your video with audio, talk to falsify this.
Okay. So, we'll show you.
All the coughing.
You guys together?
Oh,
Yes, sure.
She was.
Denise.
Is there a transcript?
Girl, I'm not gonna put your comment on the screen, but call me if you need some.
You mentioned three, but one
Denise.
is a combination, it's a split. I just want to make it so it's clear, we're only talking about two recordings.
May and August.
Yes.
We talking about him Wale being flued out to be a witness. That's right.
Transcript of the first.
Yes, sure. I'm just identifying first, I'm not playing. Just want to make sure we identify. So take a look at that one. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what do you recognize that to be?
It's my recording of my conversation with brother and I.
The first one for May of 2022?
Correct.
Okay.
Here's you.
I'm going to show you another video screenshot.
Yes, same exact thing. Conversation with him and I.
And that is that the one from August?
Correct.
And by the way, what makes you know that that's the one that you had with brother from looking at it?
How would I save people's number?
Keisha, I can totally see that. I can totally see that, Keisha.
And the name as well, so I can remember.
And that's what you have on that screen there?
Correct.
Okay. That would be, what is that?
marking that now. Are you gonna play Q?
Snippets of it.
All right.
Yep, right now he's on direct, so we'll see how he
The
does on
part that
Prize.
you're gonna play of Q, the transcript of that should be R.
Okay,
The August call
this,
should be S and Sam.
okay, the first August call, because there's one August call that was sent to Rocky in 2 files. So the first one will be Essence and Sam, the one you just identified. And the transcript portion of that would be,
T is in Tom.
okay? And then the third one, which is again the same call from August.
Actually, we just talked about this. I can't tell because this
Is that
witness, Relly,
each out of that, so-
lives in Paris and came here
And
just
same
today
thing.
to testify. I
Correct.
can't
Same
tell if the
thing.
prosecution has rested
I video
or
it.
if they've disrupted the order because this guy can only be here one day. He has to leave today,
Right.
he said. So it's unclear.
And that's the, again, that's the same call as
The
call
argument was
before.
about
It's called
Relly
the
was
August
accusing him
2022
of submitting a
call,
false
but that's the
tape to the
second
court. And
correct
Wally
file.
is here
The same
to
file.
prove no, it's not false. This is
So
exactly
that
what
would
happened.
be,
That's you.
you are. And the transcript
All right.
portion,
Thanks, names.
That's the August 22nd call?
Yeah, I think they just changed up the order
Second half.
to let this
That's
super
using
important
unit.
witness testify.
The transcript, V is in Victor.
I don't know. If I were Rocky and I knew that a case was going on, I'd tell anybody,
now,
get me whatever you
working on
can.
records on the screen, I'm gonna play, snippet, before I play the snippet for the jury, I want him, Mr. Spinney, to identify the voices, okay?
Sure.
If that's the right thing to do. So listen to the recordings of the voices and tell us if you recognize the voices. First, second, third.
Yes, he did. He flew him from Paris. Sure did. Yes, ma'am. He probably didn't have the money for a last minute ticket. And even if he did, if I'm coming to help you, I'd want you to pay for my ticket. Because he could have stayed home and minded his business.
Yes, myself and brother.
That's the same audio. It really said was fake, remember? Last week.
That's the first one. This is the second one, go ahead.
Yes, that's the second one, it's the same thing.
So both of them are real. Yep. He got blued out.
Yes, same thing. Identifying myself and throughout that whole conversation.
Thank you, Love Angel.
Okay. You play all three? So you've identified all three of those tapes that we've identified as,
It is the tapes Q, S, and U.
defense Q, S, and U. You've identified all three as recorded conversations that you made from May of 2022 and August of 2022 of you and for us.
Yes.
Okay. And you said you watched this proceeding of those ones you said were fake.
Yes.
Were they fake?
No, they're real.
You can't put them in any way?
No.
KK. The prosecutor will absolutely get to cross this witness. Yes, ma'am.
Are those recordings true and accurate recording of your conversations with Rutherford those 2 days?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone ask you to make these recordings, by the way?
No, I did it myself.
Why did you do it?
We can protect myself and just document our conversations because he kept calling me numerous times, so it kind of felt unsafe or I just wanted to protect myself.
And when he
Huh.
kept calling you numerous times, why did you feel the need to record these conversations? Was he giving you an impression?
No, it was just weird, to be honest. I just felt uncomfortable.
Because you were not involved in this incident, correct?
No, I was not involved at all. I just wanted to just mediate the situation, honestly.
Because you were friends with both of them.
Correct.
And you didn't take a side, did you?
No.
This is leading, it is.
Okay. Were you friends with both of them?
Yes.
Did you take a side?
No.
All right, now I'm gonna play you few snippets here recordings. And again, these are the questions that were asked.
Which, are you gonna play Q, S, U? First.
Yes. That's where you first. So they said the S first, Your Honor. And again, these are short snippets that directly relate to the question I asked Ms. Antoine.
All right, Alex, can you distribute the transcript?
Welcome back, Jack Love.
Yes.
I don't know if that was him. I'm sorry, guys. This is one of the ASAP. This is one of the ASAP. I believe he was there at the fight, but they were having phone calls together where Relly was telling him, I'm going to take Rocky's money. I'm going to sue Rocky for everything that he's got. So that's why it's relevant. Thank y'all. Yeah, all this started because Relly said that ASAP should pay for a mutual friend's funeral, and ASAP did, in fact, do that. He just didn't tell Relly. He told the family. Does he have an ASAP name? Good question. ASAP Wallet? I don't know.
You have an extra for Mrs. G?
All right, let's get to it. I'm getting hungry.
Sure. Yeah.
We don't know, Zara. We don't know how many days are left, and then you're gonna read it up. I beat the shit. They sure do.
And again, by the way,
Thank you.
play that. Who called whom in these two calls?
He called me, and then I would call him back.
And when you record these calls, were you calling him back?
Correct.
Okay, that's important to know.
Go ahead.
This is a later call, correct?
Yep.
Yo, what's good, nigga?
What's going on?
Shit, man, where you at?
Crib. What you want?
Shit, man. I just hopped on the computer and shit. I was gonna submit them links and shit. You know which links you want to do, or you want me to just pick them shits?
Yeah, it's shit, John. Just probably the one from Rolling Stone, all those other publications.
Just pick the top ones, probably, right? Like TMZ, Rolling Stone shit.
Mm-hmm. And then when I get it, I'm gonna play the site.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna just try to get that shit through, you feel me?
Okay. That was yourself and Mr. Efron?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the one that was saying Rolling Stone?
Carlos.
And you respond saying just pick the top one, something to that effect?
Yes.
And then after asking you to promote these articles on social media, regarding this case, did he say he was gonna throw you something?
Yes.
He doesn't say.
When I get it, I'm gonna throw you something.
When I get it, I'm gonna throw you something.
Yes.
Where did you take that from me?
I'm not sure. Maybe whenever he gets some type of money.
I'm gonna call speculation, motion, sorry,
Speculation, sustain.
Can't speculate,
I guess we're gonna move on now.
but you can ask them what's your understanding.
From which organization?
it's from SLC. Yes.
Consider that also.
Jack Love said, Rihanna is like, me and our sons are your only friends now. So what this witness Wally was saying is that Relly reached out to him and was like, hey, I need you to promote on social media these articles I'm about to send you that are about
same
this
transcript.
case.
Is there a page we should direct us on?
And then I'll throw you some money, basically, when he settles his civil case.
Does the jury have it?
You can't put your friend in the middle of that. If you know it's a mutual friend, cut it out. That's not fair to that mutual friend. What mutual friend is going to post to their social media articles about a criminal case about their homeboy? You sound stupid.
Like, who gets cool after somebody firing on you 5 times, bro?
That Mr. Efron saying, who gets school if someone fired on you 5 times?
Yes.
The thing is, it's who gives school.
Okay.
Yeah, Relly is seeing this because Relly's done.
Whatever it says. The part I
So
was
he
really
can see
focused on was the someone fired on you 5 times. He said that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is a different exhibit.
Exhibit Q.
Different exhibit.
It's a transport car.
And this is still August 27th.
No, this is, I think, May 26th.
We played August, that was on.
Right.
Right.
So now we're going to May.
Now we're going to this one.
This want to be passed out, is that correct?
Please.
So what was already played was August 22nd. This is now May 22nd.
Right.
And by meaning August 2022, rather than 22nd.
Yeah, August 2020.
2000.
It sure is. Kelly said, I'm mad Rocky had Relly in his circle. Ah, Kiki, Relly was ready to hate all along. That's why he made such a big deal about the funeral being paid for. So someone said, how many more days left in the trial? If it's a 14-day trial, we have done 1 week and 1 day. So that'd be 6 days so far. I feel like they should be able to wrap it up this week.
Everybody have one?
Can I have one?
Do we
Yep,
have one?
he's definitely seeing this. Yeah. Terry was like, he shot at him. Oh, subtitles? Sure. Let me do that. I thought y'all were joking. But now that I know you're serious, I sure will get you subtitles.
Page 16, please. The transcript.
There we go.
Okay. Go ahead. Put it down.
But background of lawyer first court extortion, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You ask for background of lawyer first court extortion, you feel me?
If you
You're gonna
ask
do
for it,
everything accordingly. Everything accordingly, or it's gonna catch up with you.
said if you ask for a bag without a lawyer, it's extortion. In other words, I got a lawyer, so it's not considered extortion.
No, you spoofed his voice somehow.
No.
Whoa.
The next one is from the same recording,
Same recording, same transcript, page 13.
same recording, same transcript, page 13.
Just because this would be before, so you're going backwards.
You ask for a bag without a lawyer, that's extortion.
No, it's the same one we just heard. This is the May 2022.
As he's right. But if you have a lawyer, it's considered legal negotiations.
Before
In
and
most
after in terms of timing. It's earlier in the
It's
conversation.
early, shut up.
I just want to make sure.
Yep,
we're correct.
it looks like that's why he didn't want us to hear it.
I'm suing this shit out of you. That was my game. And regardless, I don't give a fuck about no police, nigga.
Mm.
Whose voice was that saying, suing the shit out of him? That was my game regardless. I don't do that about the police.
From.
You didn't make up that voice.
No, no,
Your computer generate that voice.
no.
Okay, next is from the August 2022 recording, which is exhibit again.
So exhibit U is the second portion of that recording with the transcript page.
We just asked, when you're explaining chronologically, is this occurring after the time originally No, but you played part of the August call. I'm just trying to understand, is this?
It was definitely Relly. Wow. One of the main things I just heard, Relly said on there, if you sue without a lawyer, it's called extortion.
Let's get the,
Wow.
the transcript.
In other words, I went and I got a lawyer. That way I can get money legally out of Rocky. Woo! It was definitely Riley. Absolutely sorry, guys. I should have had them subtitles before.
V is, the transcript is V as in Victor. The recording is U as in union.
So glad you like it. I know cops couldn't test Rocky's hands for due to how long it was. It took really to call them. But did they collect his clothes or anything? No. Also, charges weren't brought. It's until April of 22. This happened November of 21. April of 22, charges were brought. You didn't get arrested until like September.
Go ahead.
I already know. I'm getting 30 M's.
He was, that's a, I really don't get 30 M's. So I like, and would understand 30 M's to me.
I already know I'm getting 30 M's.
And you walk through that voice, just a couple more, this is then you're done.
Same recording, same transcript, page 5, continue to page 6.
Same recording, same transcript, page 5, continue on page 6.
He's gonna have to deal with that and his political ties and everything else. Because once I walk away, when I get my cash, the case is way weaker. It's just like a domestic violence case. If you was to hit your bitch and your bitch was to keep on going through with the situation, you go down. But if you're not there, then you're going against the state and it's way weaker.
Okay. Whose voice was that? And what did you understand?
He analogizes this.
Actually, he's gonna call for speculation. It's also irrelevant what he understood.
It's not irrelevant.
Sustained.
Okay. That's on.
Judge won't let him say what he thinks.
There's one last one. I'm going to ask you about what's the question they asked Mr. Efron now last week. And so, same
Recording, same transcript.
recording, same transcript,
Page 6, continuing to page 7.
page 6, continuing to page 7. Let's play.
If I'm not there, if you take me out via my lawsuit, I'll walk away. Basically, and say that he's going for the deed of me because I'm on another island. Just relax. You get what I'm saying? They're going to be scrambling to find me because now they have to go against Rocky, the state. And they have evidence in this and that, but it's not going to be the same when you present it to a jury and you don't have a complaining witness.
Mr. Stephen Conley.
Yo!
On that recording that that's going to be part of the DA to find me because I'll be going to another island just relaxing. Right. And whose voice was it?
Kelly.
Say they have evidence, this, that, and the third, but it's not going to be the same when you present it to the jury and you don't have a complaining witness. So, did you alter that recording? No. Did you superimpose your voice into there? No. Did you hear him say that was fake? Yeah. Was that fake? No. Okay, I have no further questions. Thank you.
You okay? Anything more, Greg? Everybody's good? All right. Mr. Rule?
Ben and Camille don't know nothing about this. All right, guys. Now it's the cross-examination.
Mr. Jimmy, would you agree that you are much closer to the defendant than you are to Rel, correct?
Fair to say.
And you do business with the defendant, right?
Sometimes.
How much money has the defendant paid you for your work in the past 3 years?
3 years? I don't recall.
I don't.
Let's give an estimate.
I would say maybe 20,000 per year, so say 60,000.
And I would assume, is he one of the bigger names you work with?
No,
He's not.
I work with a lot of people, a lot of brands, a lot of celebrities and names. Yeah,
What was your income last year?
you have to look at it or ask my accountants, but income last year would say
I love that
So
honesty.
If your income was 85,000, then even by your estimate, he would have, his business would be about 25% of your income, correct?
No, like I said, we get paid by a lot of different people.
So that's what I'm telling you. You said you're estimating your income at 20 grand a year. I'm sorry, your income at 85,000 a year. You're saying he's giving you about 20 grand a year over the past 3 years. 20 grand is a little less than 25%.
Well, you asked me for my personal income, right? I didn't tell you what the business paid,
Well,
right?
I asked you what your business, you said it's your business, correct?
Correct.
So would you agree that the defendant represents a substantial bit of income for you?
For me personally or my business?
For you personally?
No.
Well, if your personal income is $85,000 and he's giving you $20,000, you just don't consider $20,000 to be significant. Is that
He's
correct?
not paying me personally. He's paying my business.
So in the end, if
Whatever.
you who owns your business?
I do.
So in the end, does the money go back to you?
Not all of it. I have employees.
So
Damn, this ain't what you want to fight about, buddy.
he is a friend of yours, correct?
Correct.
How close of a friend?
Speak time to time, not often. Sometimes I don't hear from you.
How often do you talk to him?
Once every other month, possibly.
So you're aware, I just want to back up. Fair to say that the defendant is a pretty big person within the rap roll entertainment industry.
You can say that.
Well, I'm not asking. If I'd say it, would you agree to it?
Sure.
And would you agree that his girlfriend, significant other, she's even bigger than he is, right?
Sure.
For someone like you, would you agree that being in a good relationship with people like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, that is a positive for your career, is that right?
Well, I only do business with them. I don't do business with his significant
That
other.
wasn't my question, those were striking answers.
Stay.
Listen to my question.
Sure.
My question is, would you agree that people like A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, given the business you're in, that getting in good with them is positive for your future business?
Sure.
And in fact, that's why.
This
as
is
soon
Wally
as,
on the stand.
according to your testimony, as soon as you finish that call with A$AP Rocky, you called the defendant, right?
Correct.
And in fact, fair to say, you did this call because you wanted to set up Relly to see what you could figure out, what might end up helping A$AP Rocky with this case, correct?
No.
So when you set this up, you said you wanted to video, you wanted to audio record. That sounds like you had some planning involved, correct?
I didn't say anything of it. I was there to mediate the situation.
So you just decided that you were gonna call him up, chat him up, and then immediately after that call, even though you only talked to him like every other month, you're like, yeah, I think I'll call A$AP Rocky up.
Well, he was calling me numerous times first.
Yeah, Relly was calling him.
Really?
Relly.
That's not what I asked you, most of this, right?
You bad.
Yeah, you know what,
Wait
always,
a minute, he misunderstood.
listen to my question.
Ask the question again.
What I'm asking you is, you're telling me you rarely talk to A$AP Rocky, you talk to him maybe every other month, right?
Correct.
But as soon as you spoke to Relly, the first thing you do is call him up and let him know, hey, here's what I got, right?
Correct. It's a situation between them two.
And you were looking to parlay your calling Relly to see if you could help A$AP Rocky and ingratiate yourself with him, correct?
No.
Well, let me ask you something. As you sit here today, would you agree that if A$AP Rocky is convicted, that very likely that's probably not going to be a positive for you and your income with respect to him?
No, I'll be fine.
That's not what I asked you. Listen to my question. If A$AP Rocky is convicted, you would agree that you might not be getting that 20 grand a year that you estimate you're making from him going
can't.
forward, correct?
Hold on. Objecting.
Grounds.
Thank you, sir. The first question was, it wouldn't be positive. You can't answer that.
That's not a legal objection.
Just state the legal question.
It's a different question. The first question was a different question.
It's not a legal objection.
Just. Hold on.
The state knows he's losing. That's why the state prosecutor is
People ask questions.
literally like losing it.
But it's still rejection.
Did you draw it?
No, I didn't listen to it. It's misleading. It was the first question that answered was a different question.
That's not an objection, Ron. It's not
I
an
just did.
objection.
Objection misleading. There it is.
That's not a legal
Both
California
of you
objection.
stop. Both of you be quiet.
Oh my god.
And the answer.
Question, let me ask you something. As you sit here today, would you agree that if ASAP Rocky is convicted, that very likely that's probably not going to be a positive for you and your income with respect to him? Answer, no, I'll be fine. Question, that's not what I asked. Listen to my question. If ASAP Rocky is convicted, you would agree that you might not be getting the 20 grand a year that you estimate you're making from him going forward. That's when there was an objection.
It's a fair question.
You have any other questions?
Check.
Can you ask again?
Sure. You testified that you're making approximately 20 grand a year. You said your income is $85,000 a year. I'm just asking, you would agree that if he gets convicted, you would agree that probably does not portend well for you with respect to continuing to get 20 grand a year from him, correct?
Sure.
Sure, is that a yes?
Yes.
So-
Yes, yes.
You would agree that no matter what actually happened in this incident, your motivation, your goal, as you sit here, is you don't want your friend to get convicted, correct?
My goal is to tell the truth.
That's not what I said.
He said no.
Do you agree that as you sit here right now, that whether or not the defendant committed this crime or not,
Right.
you don't want him to be convicted?
Technically, no, I don't want anyone to go to jail, so, no.
So what you're saying is that even if it is proven that the defendant assaulted the victim in this case with a firearm, you agree that you do not want him to be convicted, correct?
The objection.
Grounds.
It's a fair question.
Ron, again, he doesn't give us objection and then he gives no ground.
All right, well, then, any grounds, it's overruled.
Okay.
So the question can be asked.
Any grounds it's overruled. Get him, Judge.
Ask again?
Who's your question about?
The state is sounding real hostile, and when you sound like that, you sound like you're
What you're
losing.
saying is that even if it is proven that the defendant assaulted the victim in this case with a firearm, you agree that you do not want him to be convicted, correct?
No.
So a moment ago, you just said you don't want anybody to get convicted and go to jail. Now I've just asked you whether you want the defendant to be convicted, even if he committed a crime. You said,
You didn't
no,
say
I
even if
don't
you
agree,
convicted
I
a
don't
crime.
want to convict. Which is
That
it?
ain't what you said.
If he committed a crime, sure. Justice, right, needs to be served, so.
So as you sit here today, your position is you're just an unbiased person coming in here to do your civic duty.
Correct, I was friends with both of them, so.
Well, you weren't really good friends with Relly, correct? You're much closer to the defendant.
I was friends with him.
Well, you were much closer to the
I
defendant.
love
correct?
his temperament.
You said you flew out here, is that right?
Correct.
I assume was that first class or business?
Business?
Nice
As you
class
should.
seats, I assume?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there. So does sure mean that's what happened? What is sure mean?
Sure mean yes.
Okay, if you can answer yes or no, just make it easier with my question.
No problem.
Okay. So you flew out yesterday
Absolutely,
on a
Crash.
lie flat seat at the expense of the defendant and his lawyer, is that correct?
From Paris.
Correct.
And you came here not because you have any financial motivation, but because you simply want the truth to come out, is that right?
Correct. Because someone said the audio recordings weren't real.
So let me ask you something.
He's defending his honor, his honesty, his
What
reputation.
you just heard, those were snippets of approximately 30 minutes of conversation, is that correct?
Correct.
And during those 30 minutes of conversation, at any point in time, did Relly ever tell you that the shooting did not happen?
No.
Did he ever tell you at any point in time, you know what? Yeah, I'm trying to get his money, but I made the whole thing up.
No.
In fact, isn't it true that what he was telling you was that that man shot him and really wanted to make sure that he got his for what happened? Is that correct?
That's what Relly said.
And you weren't there, is that correct?
No.
Correct?
Hold on.
That was a double negative.
That's double negative.
You weren't there, were you?
No, it was not.
And you don't have any idea whether or not this incident happened or didn't happen.
No.
So here's my, did you ever ask Relly? Hey, I'm sorry, did you ever ask the defendant, hey, listen, this guy's saying you shot at him. You ever ask him what happened?
Objection relevant.
You ever ask him what happened?
I don't recall.
So you are having conversations with Relly, which you're taping, and then immediately calling the defendant to report what happened. And you're telling me you've never asked the man, hey, did you cap 2 rounds at him?
I said I don't recall.
Well, is that something you think you remember?
3 years ago, I don't recall.
So you're telling, I want to make sure I understand this. Your testimony is.
It's cross-examination. You are supposed to lead in cross-examination.
And I've talked to the defendant about it. I talk to him every couple of months. But I've never asked him, hey, Relly's accusing you of shooting him. Did you do it? You never asked him that.
I don't recall. No.
Well, isn't it true? You didn't ask him that because you don't want to know the answer.
Objection, Your Honor. The state's testimony, it doesn't recall.
It's cross-examination.
Yeah, it's a fair question, a question.
Isn't it true that you didn't ask him that question because you don't want to know the answer?
Like I said, I don't recall, but I might have asked him.
So now you're saying you might have asked him if he shot Relly, but you don't remember the answer?
I said I don't recall.
Just what was played in court.
Right.
Just the court.
So let me be clear. I want to know, has the defendant ever discussed with you anything about the shooting?
No.
So then your answer would be, if you ever asked him about it, would be a definite no, correct?
Sure. Correct. So.
Then why is it a moment ago you just said, I don't know, I don't remember?
Because he didn't
I
Oh.
remember.
don't recall.
Do you understand the difference between no and I don't recall?
You need to tell that to Relly.
So, no, would you agree with me, he absolutely never mentioned anything, and I don't recall would be, I'm not sure. Would you agree with that, those definitions?
We can agree to that.
And my question is, don't you think that as you're taping Relly for somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, getting information about this incident and about what he intends to do, and then calling the defendant back immediately to report what happened, that you might have had a conversation with him about, hey, dude, what actually happened? Did you shoot the guy? You're saying that didn't happen, you never asked?
Never asked.
Are you curious?
No.
So you don't have any interest at all as to whether or not the defendant actually shot at Relly?
Doesn't make a relevancy objection again.
Sorry, go on to another subject.
So,
Okay, go to another subject. It is very asked and answered, guys.
would you agree, your position
Silva.
is that you are talking to Relly, and he is telling you about what he intends to do in terms of getting money from the defendant. Would you agree?
Yes.
Did you ever say to Relly during any of these calls you recorded, hey, Relly, how come you're getting money from him if the shooting never happened?
Never asked that.
Don't you think that would be a legitimate question to ask him?
No, I was just hearing his side of the story.
Well, in fact, you would agree that there is nothing that Terrell has ever said to you, nothing, that in any way indicates that the shooting did not happen. You agree?
I agree.
Would you also agree that whatever efforts Relly makes after the shooting, however much money he asked for, whatever calls he makes, does that change what happened during the incident?
Objection. Question.
What's that?
Sorry, man.
Well, let me ask you something. I'm asking you. You're taping him and you're recording that conversation to the defendant. I'm asking you, is there anything about Relly's statements about suing the defendant, trying to get $30 million? Is there anything about those statements that you are aware of that changes what actually happened the night of the incident?
Oh,
So would you agree?
that's a question.
Whether or not Relly sues for $1, 20 million, 100 million, 20 gajillion dollars, that in the end, either the shooting happened or it didn't. Would you agree?
Yes.
And it's your further testimony, despite all that, you've never had one conversation or asking one question to the defendant about what actually transpired.
Objection is stated.
How many calls in total did you record?
2.
2 calls? Now, you said that you were upset because the idea that Relly was coming into court, you said you were offended by his line. Is that correct?
Yes.
He was lying on him.
When you were taping his calls, did you know you were taping?
No.
Do you think that friends tape other friends' phone calls?
Same Leslie.
Sometimes they can.
I'm asking you, I'm not asking you physically. I assume, sir, that if somebody wants to record a call, I didn't ask whether it's technically possible. I'm asking, do you think that a friend records their friend's phone calls when that person doesn't know?
Objection, you gave an answer.
Witness is very
That's
calm.
not a legal objection.
It's not a legal
It's
objection.
an objectionable question. It's speculation. What friends do is irrelevant. Ask another question.
You called Terrell a friend of yours, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that it was being a friend of his to tape his phone calls without his knowledge?
Yes. In this
Yes.
kind of situation, yes, because you
How
put
is
me in the
that
middle
being
of both of
friend
my
to
friends.
Terrell?
Sometimes friends do things like that.
You mean sometimes friends betray friends by taking
It's
their calls
definitely a
and then
legal
calling
offense.
other people to report what they found? Is that what you mean?
That's more than called betrayal.
Sorry, man.
So, when is the last time that you had spoken to the defendant prior to immediately calling him after the May 2022 phone call?
I didn't talk to him.
What's that?
I said I didn't talk to him prior to really calling me.
No, so, well, you talked to him before, so I'm asking the last time. When did the last time be?
I'm not sure.
When is the first time, so when did you first find out about the whole incident, the shooting? When did you find out?
From really 2022.
No, I'm not asking when you found out from Relly. When did you first hear about the shooting?
When really told me.
So you're saying you had never heard about this shooting that happened to your friend, ASAP Rocky, until May of 2022?
Correct.
So you're saying you speak to him every other month, you're aware that that shooting, that incident happened in November 2021, right?
Yes.
And you're saying that even though your friend was involved in a shooting, lead shooting, ASAP Rocky, you didn't hear about it for 5 months?
I heard about it from really first.
And you said the first time you heard about it from Relly was in May of 2022. That's what you just testified to, correct?
Yes.
So when's the first time you talked to Relly after November of 2021?
I'm not sure.
Well, give me an estimate of when the last time you spoke to him was.
So I'm not sure.
Well, here's my question. you would agree that the shooting involving ASAP Rocky, that was a big media event. Would you agree?
Yes.
Didn't you say, wait, what do you do for a living? Well, let me just get this right. You basically work on people boosting their media profile, correct?
It's not what I do for a living.
What do you do for a living?
I'm not sure if you heard, but I run a technology agency and we build websites, software for brands, creators, artists, musicians.
Right, you testified, quote,
And part of that, if you want me to get into it, sometimes people offer things like Rally did to help with their social media.
you are very involved in the rap entertainment world, correct?
No, I'm not a rapper. I don't make music, I don't produce beats.
That's not what I asked you.
You asked if I'm involved in the rap.
Are you involved in working with individuals in the music, rap, and entertainment world?
No. Might be 10%, 20% of my client list.
So 10% or 20% of your client list, but ASAP Rocky is approximately 20, 25% of your income. Just want to clarify that, correct?
You said, is my client list rappers or in the music industry? Repeat the question.
So here's what I'm asking you. You're telling me you never heard of this incident until May of 2022. You're telling me that Relly is contacting you saying he wants you to boost his media profile. He's naming outlets like Rolling Stone magazine, correct?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be your job to be monitoring what's going on in the media with individuals that you're talking to?
No, it's not my job.
So let me ask you something. Your sworn testimony is, Relly told me about it for the first time in May 2022. That's the first I heard of this shooting, correct?
Yes.
Let me ask you, given what you do for a living, does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes.
So let me ask you something about the sidebar. This is very about the record. Concerns of. Come on up. Please.
Woo! They're going back and forth. Okay, yes. So hold on one second, guys. We're still here. I'm just switching from my current Wi-Fi back to my stronger Wi-Fi. So if it breaks for a second, this is on purpose. Give me a quick sec. Okay, I think I should be good. I think I'm back. Yes, it is getting juicy, Kiki. It's getting juicy the way they're catching them in these lives. So let's recap what just happened. We had a surprise witness, Wally. The reason they call him a surprise witness is because Wally has been flown in from Paris. He was in Paris doing some work out there. He lives in Jersey. He was in Paris working with a client, but this was so important that ASAP flew him first class. He flew in today. He's supposed to be leaving tonight, actually, just giving this testimony and on out. I want to say strategically from ASAP's attorney, it's excellent that he just flew him in for the day, has him doing his testimony and then getting on out of here, as opposed to if he were to stay, stick around, hang out, kick it. No, it looks like he's here for business, baby. Business. And he's been pretty calm. I feel like when he says, I don't recall, I don't remember, it's not because, like with Relly would do that. If he actually recalled something, but felt like he was being baited into an answer or felt like the answer he was going to give was negative, then Relly would be like, I don't recall. Knowing good and well. Even Relly said that regarding his girlfriend. They put up a picture of a girlfriend and said, is this your girlfriend? And he's like, I don't recall. No. Because also, that's because the judge let Relly get away with whenever Relly would say, I don't recall, the judge would be like, okay, then it can't get admitted. Sir, we know y'all lying. We know he lying. Here, this guy seems more even killed. I gain respect for this person, this witness, and his credibility the moment when they asked him how much money he made, and he said 85,000, because it's not a glamorous amount, it's a
Mr.
wholesome
Sajani
amount,
has a flight out
it's a
tonight.
legit amount. Versus
We
Relly
go-
said he didn't know how much money he made.
Well asked for. Is there anybody who could not go till 5:30 night? And it's merely to accommodate his flight. We want to try to get finished with him today. Is that okay with anybody?
Yes, finish him.
Is that okay with everybody? Kathy's willing, everybody's willing to stay, but I don't want to, if one of you has a commitment, I don't want to interfere with your lives. So, if Mr. Sajani wasn't flying, you go back to Paris?
Yeah.
And when'd you fly?
6:30.
6:30
Yes.
tonight? 6:30 p.m.?
Oh, Lord. You better hurry that up.
That might be a lot better. All right, again, I apologize to you all, but I want to get finished. We all want, yes, June 39.
Go quick phone call for my right.
I can't hear you.
Can I just make a quick
Of
phone
course.
call?
Why don't we take a break now? Kathy, if you all can stretch your legs, if you want to make a phone call, make a phone call. Let's resume at 10 minutes before.
Your Honor, really, the JA inquired privately, I'm guessing it might be difficult with your. I'm just hoping that we inquire in more private settings, so they're able to.
If you can't do it, can you please let me know? It's okay. I know this is a big ask. Don't be shy. I'm seeing no hands. I'm going to assume that everybody is on board. All right. 10 to 4, folks. You let everybody know.
All right. They said 10 till 4. Okay, wait. Oh, okay. It's a 10-minute break right now. Woo! All right. So here's the thing. Okay, let me speak to that. All right. So the question on the floor is started. Why would Wally schedule his flight like that? Oh, baby, Wally didn't schedule a darn thing. Remember, he's got a first-class flight paid for by Rocky. That flight, let me tell you, that flight round trip was probably about $5,000 or $6,000 because it was purchased last minute. And so it was purchased by Rocky, and more than likely he arrived this morning, but that Relly's testimony was taking so long that this happened. So there's no way this guy's going to make his flight tonight at 6:30. That ain't happening. All right. To Simone, give us your legal opinion as to why this man, the prosecutor, is yelling. He's yelling because he's frustrated. He's yelling because he's humiliated. He's yelling because he recognizes that this is a trash case that is being broadcast to the world. He was not prepared for that. See, LA County does not usually grant permission for their state court cases to be televised. Now, obviously, the O.J. Simpson was, but that actually was an anomaly. Generally, they're not. So he probably wasn't counting on this. Think of Megan Thee Stallion. That was not televised. Think of Black China and the Black China case. That one was not televised. Johnny Depp was televised. I'm trying to remember if that was California or if that was another state. But I think the state attorney is hollering because he's frustrated, he's embarrassed, and he's getting mollywopped at the moment. Now, Kelly Nolia says, I've been doing this for like 20 years. Unless he's entry level, 80,000 is very low for a developer, even entry level. Well, you have to remember he's self-employed. So more than likely, if you're going to get on a stand like this, what you need to state is the money you make after taxes. So when you're self-employed, $80K after taxes honestly means you probably made $385, $4. That could be why he says $80K. But listing $80K, if 20 of it comes from Rocky, That's a substantial contribution, but he still did a good job saying, hey, even though, yeah, I do get a lot of business from Rocky, I wanted to share this because it's honest. I think what the state is trying to somewhat establish is that these guys are all on Rocky's side and they're railroading Relly. The problem is Relly's not a sympathetic victim. He's a grown man calling other grown men, talking about how two main things that we got out of Relly. One, Relly stated, that we got out of Wally. Wally said Relly would send him articles about the case and ask him to post it to social media. Are you dumb? Relly, are you dumb? I say that because if you know I'm also friends with the other person involved in the lawsuit, don't put me in this mess. That is not a good friend thing to do. So even if you want your side to be heard, don't put me in the middle of that. That's not reasonable. So he wanted Relly wanted Wally to share articles, send things to, I don't think he said send things to the blogs. I think he wanted him repost to his social media certain things that blogs were saying that was favorable to Relly. And then the second thing is we heard in that audio two very interesting examples that Relly gave. One of them is, if you don't have a lawyer, it's considered extortion. And then went on to talk about how he has an attorney. And then he also went on to say, well, if he just cashes me out, I'll go away. And the state can't prove their case, and therefore the criminal case will go away. That's a problem. That's a problem. Oh, wait. True Hebrew said, Wally's a nerd tech who typically spends a lot of time on the computer. I got the impression he has two salaries. He kept saying business or personal. But even if I like people sitting up there admitting like, hey, I'm living on 80,000. Great. Don't be up here fronting. Like that was, to me, it seemed credible. Versus Relly, when they asked him how much money he earned, he said, I don't remember. I think that's how he knew it was going to be a conservative number, which is totally fine. The issue for these people is they get up there stunting, acting like they have a lot. And when it comes time to back it up, can't. Oh, VA. Okay. VA. Okay. Thank you. The Johnny Depp case was not in California. I didn't think so. Because like I said, California is very reluctant to televise these cases. I bet they, as in the prosecutors, did not find out till last minute that this was going to be prosecuted. And now that this was going to be televised. Sorry. Of course, prosecuted. Now the Diddy case won't be televised because it's federal court. Federal court does not allow cameras in. Nope. I said the jurors are getting a Black History lesson. Volume is off. I'm just reading perspective. Good and shame and loud. It's so quiet. Who requests for a trial to be televised? The public, actually. So like Law and Crime will send, what happens is, I've done this before. So in the Christian Gold case, Christian Gold, Jennifer Williams, now husband, he goes to jail. He goes to court every month because he loves the law. As I do. It's just, I like to be on the other side of it. Well, I submit, there's a particular letter that you could submit to the court asking for permission to film. So that's what happens. They ask for that permission. And then in turn, the court says, yes, you can stream it, but you have to let people share it. So that's how come I'm able to share it. All right, what else we got? The grave diggers came back. Anything good happened in the first part? I had to work today. Oh, yeah. This morning it got a little juicy, got a little spicy this morning. Let's see. This morning we had the cross-examination. Oh, we had Relly. Oh, here was the biggest thing. This morning, so last week, Relly was insistent. They caught Relly in a few lies is the answer. And the biggest ones were pertaining to Relly's access to gunshot bullet casings. Last week, they had asked Relly, they showed a picture of Relly shooting a gun in 2023 after the incident. But they asked him, have you ever shot a gun prior to the November 6th incident? He said no. Then they put up footage of him shooting a gun in October 19th of 2021. He said, oh, well, I thought you meant, did I ever shoot one out outside of a range or something. So they showed a video of him shooting one outside of the range. Then they showed him of one in a range. Well, last week when they asked him, where was this? He said, I don't know, but it wasn't in LA. Well, last night, somebody on Twitter posted a side-by-side video of Relly's video and the LA Gun Club, showing that that video was taken in LA at the LA Gun Club. So they caught Relly in that lie. The significance of the lie is that happened October 19th. The incident was the 6th. So it happened about 2.5 weeks before the incident. So he very easily could have gone to that gun range, got those guns, just picked them up off the floor as they shot back, and ultimately turned those into the cops. So the issue was that testimony was part of the big deal that morning. And now this afternoon, the surprise witness is Wally, because last week they played audio of a call between Wally and ASAP. I'm sorry, Wally and Relly. And the judge, before you can admit it into evidence, you have to listen to it, and they ask you on the record, is this you? To authenticate the document. Oh boy said, no, this fake. It's fake. He almost said it's AI, but his vocabulary isn't like that. He said it's fake. It's fake. So the judge was not allowed to enter it. But I'm sorry, the lawyer for ASAP couldn't enter it, but he could ask questions about it. So he locked Relly into lies, in which he had Relly. Well, he didn't have him, but Relly said that he's never referenced basically taking the money and running, taking the money, and the fact that if you take the money, then he'd go away, he wouldn't show up to court, and therefore ASAP would win his case. He also analogized not showing up after getting paid to what happens in a domestic violence case when the witness chooses not to cooperate. So that was huge. The jury heard it live and in charge. But like many are saying in the chat, they're saying, hey, but is that really relevant to whether or not he got shot? Because two things can be true. Rocky could have shot at him, and in turn, he wants to file a civil suit to be compensated for being shot at. That's absolutely true. But the jury gets to raise the fact question, of whether or not it was a lie. Also, in the audio, he specifically says he wants 30 mil. I'm sorry. If I'm mutual friends with someone and I hear you're broke it behind talking about I'm going to sue your homegirl for 30 mil, I'm recording the call too. I'm recording it and I'm giving it to her. Especially if I feel like you are perfectly fine. You are not $30 million worth of injured. 30 mil. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he can absolutely change it to a different day. Because here's the thing. First of all, airlines don't charge cancellation fees anymore. But also, when you pay that much for a flight, they'll let you change it. Absolutely. Clan said, this is the vigil. She said, live events aren't as quiet as these. Yeah, he may be able to go to midnight. I don't know what airline. 6:30 seems a lot. But no, I forgot. They do, when you're going to Europe, they do like to have that flight be that evening flight so you guys can sleep on the flight. And then when you get to Europe, it'll be like 8 or 9 in the morning. That's true. Nursing Game said he ain't worth $3 worth of injury. Agreed. Yeah, don't be. Abita just said that makes sense. Don't be my friend and play my friend. Right. Desiree said, I can understand why he wouldn't have asked what exactly happened. And it's for reasons like this. In other words, I'm not going to ask what happened between you two because I don't want to be in the middle of it in the first damn place. I think also we have certain friends where we're either like, oh, that's not something my friend would do. Or we're like, I know goddamn Noel, they did that. And I don't want to be in the middle of it. It could be either one. Says Rel seems to be jealous. Terry, what's a court rule here? I don't know why, but no cameras are allowed in court. What state are you in, Terry? Yeah, night flights to Europe are common. It says, poor Wally, he must be jet lagged with that 6-hour time difference. Can you imagine getting flued in, flying in, getting in the morning, or whatever time you got in, and then having to fly out at 6 o'clock at night? You better give me a lay flat seat. I thought it was cute. Oh, Ontario, okay. Thanks, Terry. I thought it was cute how the judge was like, and then you got your lay flat seat. He flew you first class. So if you work for a company, most corporate companies that fly you for work have a rule that says if your flight is over, it can be over 4 hours or over 6 hours, that they fly you first class. That is common industry standard. So if you got somebody flying all the way from Paris to LA, baby boy, you better fly me first class. That's just the right thing to do, because then they can be more rested and more effective when they land. Here, yes. Oh, so they try to make a big deal out of the fact that Wally received a first class ticket. But it's like, yeah, he needs to rest and lay down so he can get up there and take the stand and answer these dumb questions y'all about to ask him. Right. Black Ghost said it had to be cross-examined by Barney Fife. Said, is anyone here to squabble with? Sound on. Let me just make sure I got. What is this one on?
Paul? Between a minute and 55 seconds and 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
I'm gonna share this tab real quick.
Discussion about what really thinks Rocky is Rocky's rap sheet, and then it's Rocky has a rap sheet. And also that Rocky buys people off.
Okay, hold on a second.
I don't want the jury hearing it.
All right. Now I get it.
Good.
So earlier at the beginning of this live, this hearing was going on. And I rolled it back because I want to make sure I understood the context and can accurately portray it to you. So what you're going to hear in this hearing, this is a hearing where both sides are trying to determine what excerpts from the call between Relly and Wally could be presented in front of the jury. So the jury is not and has not heard, is not going to hear and has not heard the full call between Wally and Relly. Why? Because there's some prejudicial parts. I'm going to play the tape while we're on break so you can hear them discuss what some of those prejudicial parts are.
You say the 3 minutes.
I'm going to put the caption on.
A minute and 55 seconds to 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Then that's all my concern on that. Then there's one, I think it's the longest one.
Listen to this.
It's 7094. It's where, well, it's between 5 minutes and 25 seconds and 6 minutes. Relly's talking about potential sentence. I don't want the jury to hear that.
All right. So what they cut out, he's saying, is Relly is talking about his potential sentence being 20 years. Remember, I told you before, the jury, this is the guilt innocence phase, and that the jury is, unfortunately, I think it's wrong of the law, but they're not allowed to know that if they find Rocky guilty, Rocky's facing 24 years. I think that's messed up.
And then it, beginning at 8 minutes and 15 seconds.
This is just while we're on break.
Beginning
When
8
they
minutes
come back
and 15
live,
seconds,
we'll go back to
there's
it.
Discussion about that white people will see what Rocky knows and doesn't know, what Rocky knows and doesn't know.
So y'all heard that the judge is saying he does not want the jury to hear this segment of the call where Relly is saying, well, you know, white people will see what ASAP does and doesn't know and what kind of a person that he is. He said he doesn't want to, the judge does not want that to be heard. And here's why.
And then there's also his feelings about Rocky. I especially don't want to hit the jury to hear about, about the white people. Race.
He don't want the jury to hear about the white people. I don't blame him.
No role in this whatsoever.
He said race will play no role in this whatsoever. Also, that could piss off white jurors. And we know there aren't no black jurors on there. So some of those white jurors, simply because he said that, would want to give him less credibility. They could feel like, oh, he's a racist. I don't want to give a racist victim a victory in the form of, finding the defendant guilty.
The rest of that.
Let me know
page
your
is
thoughts in the chat.
Pretty innocuous.
Hold on, Your Honor, he's checking to see.
Let me know what you think about excluding those kinds of parts.
Yeah, I want to know that that's
So I can say for sure the white people comment was taken out.
good.
Um,
What about the potential sentence?
Do you have an example?
5 minutes and 25 seconds to 6 minutes.
I think what he's asking, Your Honor, is because the time would change because he's had to edit what he's asking for, if you know.
Oh, it changed, it
It was
changed.
like 19 years, something like that.
I think he said something about, you know, the minimum of this and a maximum of 25 years.
Okay, yeah.
He also mentions that attempted murder, and, you know, it's not attempted murder.
You're saying looking at anywhere from 14 to like 20 something years?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there a mention of attempted murder?
I might have let it in,
It's not attempted murder. If you can't find it, you know.
I took out the 20 something.
So the years are out.
Do you want me to sit with them and show them?
Comforting.
Okay, that's really all I was concerned
Just on those two transcripts?
about. He talks about his, on the third transcript, he talks about his feelings about Jabari, he talks about the missed calls, his texts that were exchanged prior to the incident. I think it's pretty innocuous.
I'm definitely not trying to ring the bells that can't be unrung. If they want to sit down, I can show them exactly what I redacted.
All right, go ahead.
Just in case a second.
And Your Honor, other than that, I don't think this was put on the record, I think I said it in court, but it has been discussed in the media, not by Mr. Decker, not Mr. Decker, but simply by commentators who have said that this defendant is convicted, he's looking at getting 24 years. That's absurd. The people have always said that we would not be seeking, and we would have no grounds for seeking the maximum sentence in this case. What we have said is we talked about a sentence originally, or we're willing to give probation and suspend time. If he's convicted, what we're going to be asking for is probably going to be about 8 years in state prison. So you will not be looking at that as the court's aware. He would serve about 2/3 of that. I just want to make sure that we don't have this misinformation being spread, because it's not accurate.
Now, can you tell the jury as usual, we're out there?
Yes, sir.
Taking care of logistic.
Yes, sir.
Logistic, issues. All right, so we're gonna take a look at Saturday, is he here?
Yes, it is.
Oh, 8? Oh, okay.
Just a couple of
No. We just finished it. How's that?
Are there more problems?
Yeah.
Yesterday, then.
Yes.
All right, why don't the two of you discuss it? If you can come to an agreement, then I don't need to get involved. Let me ask you, I hate to have the jurors wait outside. Can you give me an idea how much longer it might be before?
So I just highlighted all the changes that I made in this one. I can bring it up if the court wants to. Eleanor, did you take one?
Yeah.
Oh, I have it. You want to approach so you can see?
Why don't you come on up and show me what's been taken out and what is still objection?
Wes, do you have the highlight? Or he has it?
Yeah, up here is. Have you ever been on the Santa Monica Freeway like at midnight? Traffic is never. All right, we are, all parties, jurors, and counsel are present. Mr. Sacchini is on the stand. Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, we're gonna mark our next exhibit, Equals 28. It's a DVD that has 3 audio recordings on it.
Are these the phone call?
Yes.
All right, the DVD is 28.
Okay, and then the first call that we're gonna play is the May 12th, 2022 call.
Just to clarify, we're back. This is live. This is not a replay.
Your Honor, can the jury be instructed that they are not trying to speculate what was redacted, what wasn't redacted?
Yeah, I had told you earlier that there are
Thanks.
things in the transcripts that have been taken out.
Because remember, the stuff that's taken out was what we just went over. References to white people, references to the amount of time that ASAP is facing.
Assist you in your decision.
Well, now, get Channel ask a couple of questions first. Ms. Cheney, have you actually heard the full recordings of what you turned over?
Yes,
When's the last time you heard them?
this morning,
This morning. So you heard them in their entirety, is that correct?
correct.
Would you agree that what the defense played was a tiny snippet overall of the recording?
Yes, the recording was 30 minutes, waited, 3 minutes, so yes.
And I just want to be clear.
So earlier was a replay. Now we are live.
Whatever part was.
That was breaking down what happened earlier.
Going to hear. At no point in time did Relly ever say to you, or imply, or infer that the shooting did not happen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Would you agree that in every interaction you've had with him, however many there are, since the incident occurred, that he has always been very clear in his position that the defendant shot at him and that he was hit?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna play these to make it easy. You would agree that when the defense played you the calls, they started with the amount of order. The first snippet they played was from August, and actually your first call was in May. Is that correct?
May, June, July, August is the correct order. Dates correct. Yeah.
What you were saying, May, June, July, August. I thought we only have 2 dates.
I'm giving you the sequence of dates, right?
Oh,
Of
no, I'm-
months, right? So-
You know, let me just inquire, I'm getting a little confused what you just said. So my understanding is there are only 2 calls, one in May
Correct.
and one in August, is that right?
Yes.
But you just said May, June, July, and
Let me
August.
correct myself. I'm giving you, you asked me, was May before August? I said yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
well,
right? So May,
Understood.
June, July, August is the
Got
sequence of dates.
so understood. So I'm just making clear, we're now gonna play this. What we're gonna play, you would agree, this is chronologically, meaning this is the first of the recorded calls. Is that right?
Yeah.
And before we start, it's your position that Relly called you and you called him back, all ready to record. Is that right?
Yes.
Prior, when he had called you, at that point in time, you didn't know what he was gonna say, correct?
No, it was just a lot of calls.
But what I'm saying is at the time he called you in May, you don't know about the shooting.
No.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so the first time you find out the shooting is during the May 2022 call, and because you don't know what he's gonna be talking to you about, you have no idea why there's gonna be any value in the recording, is that right?
No, but there was a numerous amount of missed calls, kept calling me, so.
Here's what I don't understand. Why?
Yeah, Wally has nothing to
You don't
lose.
know anything about the incident, anything about the allegations. Why are you taping a call with your friend?
Possibly via phone. They could have prepped Wally
Just to protect
via
myself,
phone.
Just
Yeah.
to have, just oversight.
Why would you need to protect yourself from a friend when you know nothing about any incident that he was involved in?
Seemed weird.
So you're saying you got repeated calls from somebody, your friend, Rel. You didn't know what it was about, and so your response to getting repeated calls from him was to go, you know what, I'm gonna call him back, and I think I'm gonna tape him and not tell him, is that correct?
Correct.
And you're saying that was done because you felt you needed to protect yourself, is that right?
Correct.
Well, you protect yourself, not.
Just whatever was said. I mean,
So do you typically, when you get missed calls, you call people back and you record them?
they're being weird, yes.
What is weird about a missed call?
10 missed calls in 2 minutes, weird.
So when you say if someone's being weird, you didn't talk to them, correct?
No, but there might have been text too, but I don't remember.
Mr. Lord? Time to move on.
All right, let's play. I want you to listen to this. I'm gonna ask you questions about it.
Your Honor, when we get to the last page, it didn't print out, so I will pull it up on my computer.
So there's a page 16?
There is.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have.
No one has it. That's why I said I'll pull it up on my computer. Right.
Should be on the screen.
All right, I'm gonna start the recording. And it's the file name is IMG_0786 redacted.
This is the May 12, 2022 call.
Yo, bro. Yeah. You. Shit, Rose, my bad. I'm in my girl shit bed, so. Yeah. What you doing? Shit. Crib. What happened, Rose? You know, I'm not trying to pick sides. I'm mad at both y'all niggas for letting that shit happen. You feel me?
Stop.
You know.
Did you hear what we just said?
Yes.
You just said, quote, I'm not trying to pick sides in this shit. I thought you don't know anything that's happening.
Like I said, there might have been texts prior.
No, what you testified to, sir.
Wow.
The first time you ever heard anything about that incident was when Terrell called you. And I'm reading this, and it says, quote, I'm not trying to pick sides and shit. So I want you to explain to me, if you didn't know about it before this call, what in the heck is that comment about?
Objection, Judge, argumentative.
Sustain it, sir.
Please explain what you meant by, I'm not trying to pick sides and shit, if you did not have any prior knowledge of the incident.
Trying to mediate the situation, that's what I meant.
How can you mediate a situation that you know nothing about and you've never heard of?
Like I told you, I might have received a text. From him, so yeah.
Do you recall me asking you prior to the break, 3 different times, and again after the break, whether you had heard anything about the incident until you talked to Jarrell on May 12, 2022, you responded each time, no,
Kenny.
this was the first time I heard of it. Do you recall responding?
What the heck? That's somebody's phone, y'all. That is.
Sorry, Ron. It's loud because this court knows I can't hear, so my apologies.
Yes, but I thought you were specifically talking to the phone call, so
Wait, can you repeat that, please?
you can repeat your question, I'll answer it.
So what I'm asking you is, I asked you 4 different times before the break, and 1 time after the break. I confirmed the first time you had ever heard anything about this shooting incident that happened in November was during the May call, this call, with Riley. And yet, the first thing you say is you're not trying to pick sides and shit. And then you say, in testimony today, I was trying to mediate. So my question is, how can you be talking about not picking sides and about mediating when you never heard what happened?
I think I answered this where I think I received text as well. So, yeah, and what I mean by picking sides is trying to mediate the situation.
So when you say you received texts, so are you now changing your testimony and saying, yes, I knew about this incident beforehand?
Objection, or
Repeat the question?
Are you now saying, yes, I was aware of the incident from November of 2021, prior to this phone call?
I'm not sure. 3 years ago.
Well, I want you to take a look at the transcript, I want you to look at page 2, and I want you to read again to yourself, and I want you to read starting at line 8 to line 11, and tell me if now you understand whether or not.
Yeah, I think I get your question, and my answer again is, I believe, I'm not sure if I received, I think I received text messages about this situation, so, yeah.
So you're saying you decided to you recorded these calls. Did you save those text messages?
I'm not sure.
What do you mean, not sure? Do you have those text messages today?
Probably not, and your definition of I'm not sure is,
Mr. Lawyer, are you gonna fight with the rest of the?
I don't know.
I am, but I'm taking them one at a time, and then I'll start playing again. All right, let's, I think it's easier to hit each one as it comes up.
You hit this one a lot.
Well, Your Honor, I'm trying to get, he just now said that there were text messages he believes. What do you believe was said in the text messages?
I don't remember.
Well, so obviously, if you knew about it, that would have meant that Rowley would have had to have told you.
It was the prosecutors.
what happened
It was
in the
definitely.
incident.
Because the prosecutor said something.
But when you say possibly, will you at least concede that you knew about the incident, given what you said, prior to you recording the conversation?
Can't confirm that, but I'm not sure.
And let me ask you again, since your memory's a little hazy, is it, as you sit here, maybe you think you might have talked to the defendant about it sometime between November and May?
No.
So what would be your rush, sir, right after you talked to Relly to call the defendant if that was the first time you ever heard anything about the alleged shooting, the lawsuit? What made you immediately pick up the phone and call Rocky?
I think our answer is trying to mediate the situation, so something going for it.
All right.
He said he wanted to mediate the situation. And so he sent it to Rocky.
That nigga 100% crazy and wrong. 100% wrong. And he got 12-year ills mixed around. I'm not, you gotta understand, Rocky been on his high horse for a very long time, you feel me? Yeah.
Would you agree, sir, that during this little section, that Relly is basically telling you, he is saying that the defendant was 100% wrong, and then he got 12 in ills mixed up in it?
Ron, I'm going to object.
Do you agree that in that section, sir, as you listen, as you read it right now, that Relly is telling you that Rocky is basically done it wrong?
Ron, I'm objecting again.
Can we get a glance?
The words speak for themselves.
Exactly.
What? Keep going, push the play button.
Your Honor, I'm gonna.
No, push the play button, let's continue.
No, but I'll do that, but again, I keep asking, he doesn't give grounds. We're lawyers. Lawyers give grounds. That's how law works in California.
I know how it works in California.
Well, Your Honor, I'm
Stop telling me how it works in California, how it doesn't work. No speaking objections. State of grounds, state objection and the legal grounds, push the play button.
As a duty he did, I don't have, he forced my hand, you feel me? I got over 20 missed calls between him. It was, why is Rocky going out his way to do anything like that? You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you're gonna hear the story or whatever it is, but you gotta look at it like this. Why is he going out his way to call me 20 times? It was in Tory with him. Text messages saying, link up, where you at? And all of this is because of, I pressed him about Josh, him not doing right by Josh, and he spoke to Josh's mom and lied. You get what I'm saying? So I wrote him about.
Were you aware prior to Relly relating this information to you that there had been a pre-existing issue between Relly and Rocky regarding Josh?
No, I don't know based on that.
Did you know what he was referring to?
Not really, I don't know Josh. I didn't know Josh.
But you agree that ASAP Relly told you that he, in essence, pressed Rocky about Josh and about him not doing right by Josh and accusing Rocky of lying. That's what he told you, correct?
Yeah, he's telling his side of the story.
All right, please continue.
He hits up Bari later about that, but I'm with Bari. Bari got the phone on speaker. You get what I'm saying? This shit didn't fit well with me. So Rocky talks about me within that conversation because he sees I text him about Josh. You feel me? And told him taking ASAP out my name. This is 7 months ago. I took ASAP out my name. You feel me? He's a bitch. So he goes in and says, hey, Bari, let Bari influence a whole week later doing that complex car shit. You feel what I'm saying? Just what happened. I'm with Bari while Rocky hits up. Rocky says my name. You get what I'm saying? Real Money, 12-year ills is at his house. I hit Real Money the next morning. Tell Real.
You would agree that is ASAP Relly telling you that basically he is present for a conversation where ASAP Rocky is talking to Bari and is saying negative things about Relly, correct? That's what that means, correct?
Objection, Ron.
Well, it's not clear, and I'm asking the witness because the witness understands how they speak to each
You've
other.
already indicated that you want a legal ground.
Let me do this.
Mr. Takapinas said objection, he's about to state the legal ground.
It's irrelevant what he believes relevant meant. That's the same objection. I got.
Stay.
No, I'm not asking what
The
you
words speak for themselves. In final argument, you can put your interpretation on what was said. Mr. Takapita can do the same thing.
You are in my allowed to inquire the witness, since they're speaking in a manner that is not necessarily easy for anybody to understand. I have to inquire, what does that mean? I'm not asking,
But you're not asking what that means.
what does it mean?
what?
What does what you just heard, where Terrell tells you that just basically, and I heard you, but in Rocky head, he looked like a bitch because Barry had him on speaker. Rocky didn't know who else heard that conversation, but I heard him talk about it. And I told Rocky over the years, and if you have a problem with me, let me know. Stop rocking me to sleep. You feel me?
I can't tell you what he means. You need to ask Terrell.
I think it might be helpful if Mrs. Jimmy had.
I have.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I'm reading.
All right.
So you're telling me, listening to that, you didn't understand that to mean that there had been a phone call where Rocky had been talking bad about Relly, not knowing Relly could hear it, and that Ari had been involved. That's not what you understood that to mean.
He's telling the side of the story, so.
No, I didn't ask you whether it was true or not. I asked you, is that what Relly told you?
Yes, I'm on the other side of the phone call.
All right, keep playing.
Money. I heard Rocky bitch ass tell him I don't fuck with him. Woo-de-woo-de-woo-de-woo. You feel me? No fighting words, none of that. Just basically, nigga, I heard you. But in Rocky's head, he looked like a bitch because Barry had him on speaker. Rocky don't know who else heard that conversation, but he know I heard him talk about me, and I told Rocky over the years, nigga, if you have a problem with me, let me know. Stop rocking me to sleep. You feel me? Yeah. I feel it. Next thing you know, I guess that was enough for him. He felt like a bitch because he knew I heard that conversation. I was supposed to hear that conversation because Rocky I never heard him say curse words or even have that type of energy towards me. You know what I mean? So now I know the real him. I tell real money, tell that nigga fuck him. You feel me? Boom, boom, boom. Shit is related to him. Next thing you know, I get over 20, 30 missed calls between him, Hills, and Rocky. Text messages. I'm staying at the lodge. I tell him he calls me. I finally answer because I'm sleeping.
Did you take from that, as you heard it, that Relly was now telling you that there was a dispute between he and Rocky that also now was bringing in Hills as well, and that it had resulted in 20 or 30 missed calls between the defendant and Relly?
But I'm objecting again, the same reason I object before to Robert, what this witness was from.
Your Honor, he took it actually.
Stop, both of you, no speaking objections, don't debate. Do you know what this means?
I can't decipher what somebody, I'm hearing this side of the story, I can't decipher what they actually do.
Okay, all right, go on.
I'm not asking you whether you believe it or whether it's credible. I'm simply asking you, when you were told this, Relly was telling you that this dispute between he and Rocky had resulted in 20 to 30 missed calls between him, which is Relly, Hills, and Rocky. Is that right?
He's telling me that.
Yes. And he's also telling you he's staying at the Lowe's, and he tells you that he finally answers because he's sleeping. Is that right?
He's telling me that.
Now, you said you've been watching this trial, correct?
Correct.
When did you find out you were going to be a witness in this case?
Just recently.
Well, a couple of days ago, correct?
Correct.
And you continue to watch the trial, is that correct?
Correct.
Didn't the defense tell you, hey, listen, you're going to be a witness in this case? You should not be watching the trial?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustain.
For what grounds, John?
It's irrelevant. Just ask another question.
When you were watching the trial, you were hearing and listening what witnesses were saying about this case, is that correct?
Yes.
So as you sit here, you know everything that's taken place up to this time in this trial, is that right?
No, I didn't watch every minute of every hour of the case.
Well, you certainly know overall what has been transpiring in this case, correct?
Not overall.
Do you know what,
If I miss some days, how was that overall?
do you know what the defense is in this case?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustain.
Are you aware that the defense is claiming that it was a prop gun that was used by ASAP Rocky.
Objection, irrelevant.
What's the ground?
It's not relevant what Mr. Sajimi is aware of as it relates to the defense.
Have you ever seen Rocky with prop gun?
Objection, relevance.
You ever seen with prop gun?
No.
And would you agree, I'm just gonna ask you, but would you agree that in the world that you're involved in the entertainment world, in the rap world, if somebody is a concern about violence or a home invasion robbery, are you aware in your experience of anybody ever carrying a prop gun to deter that kind of conduct?
Objection, speculation.
I'm asking if he's aware. No speculation, right? Okay.
It's asking him to speculate. So,
I'm not in the entertainment world.
No, you don't have to. He said he's not in the rap world. Ask another question.
We can do it.
I answered it. He's like, where you at? With a slick voice. I'm like, huh? Where you at? Nigga, I'm at the W. I'm not really at the Lowe's. You feel me? And you know how you Boulevard. They all look the same. You're like, no, you're not. Nigga, that's a bum ass hotel. I'm like, huh? He said, show me outside. Okay. All of it look the same. I'll show him outside. Where you guys? I'll be in there 5 minutes. I'm like, alright. My girl like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. He calls me, else calls me. Yeah, I find out all the text messages. What do you think is even done? You and a couple other people heard this story. Rocky out here thinking it's all sweet, but his life is really, and bro, that's what I wanted to ask you, bro. Like, why really though? You feel me? Why take it to you know the guys? You feel me?
Sorry, guys. I've been listening to it all. Just one time.
Whether or not, bro, he's a multi-millionaire. He blamed at me. I'm no longer on his level. Everybody turned on me. Everybody, bro. Yeah, everybody turned on me.
What did you mean when you said, why take it to, you know, the guys? What did that mean?
The police, I wanted to have them find a resolution outside of legal or police.
Would you agree that if Rocky shot him and hit him, isn't that a police matter?
Sure, yes.
Well, so why then are you saying, you know what, why are you taking it to the guys?
I think I can answer that.
So have you already decided what side you're on?
No, but I think when you're trying to mitigate a situation, the best solution is not all of this.
You just said mitigate. Before you said mediate.
Mediate, I'm sorry.
Well, let's back up. You were trying to mitigate the situation for your buddy.
I spoke wrong. I was trying to mediate.
Let me ask my question. Who used the word mitigate?
I did it, I was wrong.
Most describe everything after I did as non-responsive.
Sustained.
You would agree that in using that term, that could certainly, if you could convince Relly to not cooperate with the police or authorities, that could mitigate the situation for your friend A$AP Rocky, correct?
I'm trying to mediate the situation.
How exactly were you trying to mediate the situation to help Relly?
Really just hear him out.
Hear him out on a tape call that you could then call your buddy A$AP Rocky about, is that right?
Mediating the situation to me was hearing him, his frustration.
Hearing his frustration, your friend, so you could report it to the true person that you had interest in protecting, correct?
I think it was right to show the other person or show both sides when you're talking both sides. Yeah.
How many calls was Robbie made?
No, we didn't talk about. Never talk about.
Go ahead, Steve, go ahead.
Problem, technical problem?
Yes. I'm just gonna reopen it, get right back to that.
I'll ask some other questions in the meantime. So we don't waste any time.
Everybody turned on me. Everybody, bro. Yeah, everybody turned on me that day. Plus, what the fuck am I doing? Spin on this block and go shoot up at the shoot him up. What was my cripple at? Because he's a no-time bro. I'm not having nobody shoot at me when I'm taking him on the chin. And two, I'm not about to spin on Rocky's block. I'm already a millionaire, nigga. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yes, he will get to redirect, honey. Yes, true.
That Rocky had shot him. Correct.
He did say that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what he meant exactly with why wouldn't I grow? He's a multi-millionaire. Glad that me. No, so
Where he says, or do I cripple him because he's a multi-millionaire, bro? I'm not having nobody shoot at me. You didn't understand that to me, you were saying that Rocky shot him?
that's what he meant. I can't decipher what he meant, right?
You cannot decipher what he meant by, I'm not having nobody shoot. You can't decipher that.
Just say. The words speak for themselves. Again, you can comment on the final argument or Mr. Zlomek, whoever does the final argument, as can Mr. Peter. The words are there. Both of you can put whatever input you want. Go on to the next question.
you ignorant black nigga. I mean, these niggas everything, how to get money, how to do this. Do you watch me do that? Do you have a foundation for black people? Do you have a foundation for anybody? You know, this nigga's greedy. You know what I'm saying? So I just sit here and be like, oh, how you meet somebody like that, bro? You take away what they have, dogs. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not doing it on some like this, that, and third, on some holy shit. I would have had a guy warrior. I'm just saying this because he weird at me 4 or 5 times. I had to use pills as a shield while I'd be dead.
Did Relly tell you that he had to use Bill as a shield right in the head?
He said that.
Keep playing.
I'm trying to, you feel me? Not trying to end slash and shit with some paper or something, but what, you know, like. Bro, it's too late. He told me to suck a dick. I hit John the same day. Bro, that's all I had. He had nothing but time, bro. But I got the best lawyer in LA and work on my business. You feel me? He told John to start contacting me. I sent him the picture of the bullets, sent him the text messages of him, letting him know how serious this is. You know what he said? Nigga, fuck you. I feel, bro. So what am I supposed to do? I accept it.
So, Relly is telling you that the defendant shot at him and then basically told him, F you, I'm not giving you anything.
Right.
And your response is, he said, you feel me, and you say, yeah. What was the point of your response?
I'm consulting to mediation, so.
Right. I'm mediating the drama.
You're consulting for mediation. Can you explain what you mean by that, please?
I'm mediating the situation, so I'm hearing him out.
Isn't it true that what you're doing is, you are trying to make Relly think that you are on his side, while at the same time you are keeping him, and then immediately contacting the man he is saying shot at him, who is actually your closer friend. Isn't that correct?
No, I'm mediating the situation, so.
Keep going. So you also say, this is on, you got in front of you, you say, you gotta try to end, squash this shit, get some paper or something, or what? You know, like, you see that, that's on page 8, lines 7 through 9?
Yes,
You're telling him, when you need to get some paper, you're telling him, you gotta get some money from the defendant, correct?
I'm really just giving him options to mediate the situation, so there's a resolution.
Right, and the option you're giving him is you're basically telling him he can go get money from the defendant. That's what that means, correct?
No,
What does it mean when you're saying to go get paper? What does that mean?
I'm giving him options, right? Not just one option of what you're saying.
So listen, I didn't ask you how many options you're giving. Listen to my question.
You said, what does this mean?
What does,
Line- Let me finish, right?
sure,
So what does this mean from line 6 to 9?
no, let me
That's what you asked, right?
No, this is what I asked you.
All
Are
right.
you ready? What does it mean when you said, get some paper or something? What does that mean?
It can be money.
What's that?
I said it can be money.
Wait, it can mean money or it did mean money?
It can.
What did it mean when you said it?
I said it can mean money.
Listen to my question. Are you the one that said that?
Yeah.
When you said, it, did it mean money?
Yeah.
You were telling him you can get some money from Rocky. That's where you're saying you're trying to mediate, correct?
No.
No?
I'm giving options to mediate the situation.
Are y'all following?
Sir, one of those options is, you're telling him an option would
I am.
get some paper or something, correct?
Correct.
He's basically playing into it. Like, this is what you do when you don't want.
Up until this time, in the conversation, has Relly mentioned that he is gonna try to be getting a bunch of money from the defendant?
I'm not sure.
Well, would you agree that it looks like you're the person suggesting he go get some money? We just get some paper, correct?
Giving it an option. Was in mediation.
And that's coming from you, correct?
Correct.
And you're aware that's exactly what he did, correct?
I believe so.
Well, you believe so, you're aware, you said, you take him, he went and got a lawyer, and he ended up suing the defendant for money, is that right?
I believe so.
Move on.
Yeah, context matters. This is the kind of context that matters.
Nigga
He'd
shot
already
me
talked
4 or
about
5 times
This
when I
is the
almost
second-
died. Or shoot this man. Now coming with suing, of course, the severity of the case, he tried to kill me. So that's when he got to leave. You feel me?
I feel ain't no way niggas describe, like, you feel me, no paper, no nothing, Rose, like, you feel me? Like,
Bro, he's 33 years old. He got other men talking for him. He know what he did. You get what I'm saying? He had more than enough time. This shit happened 7 months later. He was trying to reach out to me. He still can't reach out to me.
I feel with the legal shit and putting out boy, you know, so.
That's what I am. I didn't want to go about that way.
When he said on the top of page 9, he says, now coming with suing the court, the severity of the case, he tried to kill me. He was
Yeah, he's not
referring
making
to
this
the
right.
incident With Rocky, right? That's how you took it, is that right?
Objection to what gave her brother saying is getting
Is that correct?
Can you repeat the question?
So he is saying the severity of this case.
Exactly. This is the second recording.
The severity of the case, he tried to kill me. So that's where he's going to. That's why he got a read. You feel me, and you say, yeah, I feel. Ain't no way ends good like you feel me. No paper, no nothing, Rosie. You're saying at that point, he's telling you he tried to kill me, and you're telling him, hey, get some money, correct? As an option.
Trying to mediate the situation, yes.
That's not the question I asked you. Are you telling him to get some money as an option?
Not what I did.
So what does it mean? What is indirect about you mentioning get some paper?
I think it's the way we talk. You really wouldn't understand, but there's a way we talk that puts out options, right? So, yeah.
So you're saying you indicated that paper is money. and
He said that well.
you indicated that you're telling him to go get some paper, and now you're telling me apparently I can't understand when you talk and mean something.
You're just highlighting the word paper.
No, you said the word get some paper.
You're highlighting the word cheaper, but if you look around it, there's certain ways you talk.
Yes.
I'm giving all different options to these
Get it.
situations.
Explain
So you're
this.
saying that in order for anybody to understand this conversation, we gotta ask you to interpret, correct?
No, not necessarily, no.
Well, if you're saying that we can't understand the plain words you're giving, and you're further saying that you understand it and we don't, then it would seem that the only way we could understand would be to ask you to explain it, correct?
No, I said the dog is red. You can understand the dog is red. With certain terminology in the way you talk, you wouldn't understand it.
I just want to be clear, you've accomplished what you meant to accomplish, push the play button.
I got a lawyer. When you get a lawyer, that has nothing to do with voice. And Jabari is his friend. He might as well thank him for him not being in the interview because but those are allegations. You feel me? He got enough, and you're part of the PR team. He would have had enough people to block that if Jabari didn't say nothing, bro. Those are allegations. Jabari made it official.
Yeah, so what's the next one?
Jabari's getting sued too. Jabari's getting sued for defamation as a character.
Cause everybody look bad, bro. I'm just trying to.
He looked bad. He did that, bro. I didn't call you. I didn't have a gun. He left this in Hollywood house. Why everybody saying everybody look bad? Why everybody point the finger? Because when I take, bro, I got Hollywood. I got so many people.
Niggas look to you, bro. Niggas look to you like that.
Niggas hanging. He's in a mission. Nigga, I pay my way around it every single time.
There's no subtitles for that. Oh,
Ever
sorry.
tell you during any conversation that he had any gun or any weapon during this incident?
Not sure, no.
Not sure or no, which is,
Really himself?
did Relly ever tell you during any conversation that during this incident in November 2021 with the defendant, that he, Relly, had a gun or any kind of weapon?
No, he never mentioned that.
In fact, he said, made very clear he didn't have a gun, correct?
Correct.
Did you ever ask the defendant if he had a gun?
No.
Glenn?
That's him. He uses niggas. He used 12 year hills, nigga. That was the whole joke about the whole shit with Barbie and the whole thing. You get what I'm saying? The nigga asked if Barbie, is he coming to the complex car, nigga? Barbie laughs at him like, nigga, you're not using me. Nigga, the next conversation was about how he got 12 year and it was like jet or some whole shit.
I feel you. Shit, wicked, dog. Shit, wicked. Fucking y'all niggas grew up together, man. Like, you feel me? Like,
I made that nigga. Fuck growing up. I made that nigga. Not no 12, not no years. He didn't know years. Years popped up at my crib. On purple swag. I made that nigga. That's why you feel like that, bro. I've been house. I've been there. Jabari everything, bro. I put every last goal on my hand.
I just know that niggas are trying to end this shit and you know, why not?
You know, and he could it.
So when you're saying you just want this shit ended, you want bygones to be bygones, you wanted to mitigate this situation, whether the defendant shot him or not, correct?
I'm saying to mediate the situation.
Did you hear what you were just going to say?
Yes, I can read.
Okay, so my question is, when you're saying, I just want all you ends to kind of end this shit, you know, bygones be bygones, you are saying you do not care what actually happened.
Oh my God.
You just want the situation to be over.
That's not true. This is why we need DEI.
So what did you mean by that?
I think I answered this. When you're mediating, you wanna come to a resolution. And yeah,
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask this question again because you're not answering it.
He
These
is.
are your,
Objection.
sir,
Don't even worry about it.
sir, these are your words.
Objection.
I'm gonna read these words, and I'm gonna ask you specifically what the words meant.
Pissing me off now.
I just want you all ends to kind of end this shit, and you know, bygones be bygones. What did you mean when you said that?
I think I just.
Just what
told you.
he said.
Mediate it and find a resolution between each other.
Okay, move on, move on.
He's not answering the question. He's not
Just did, move on.
Get him. Move on.
Ended it when he shot at me. Who ends anything when a nigga shoot at you 4 or 5 times when you gotta grab another member to protect yourself? He called me out my living space. Called me, told me to stop ducking him. He played that. It's called premeditated, bro. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't give me a chance. He didn't tell me I'm gonna come to a gun battle. I came to link him to see what the fuck the status was about. He pulls out. He tries to chest bump me. He tries to chest bump me and then pull out a gun for self-defense. He's a pussy boy. And me and Ills is standing in between while he's trying to shoot me. He ain't give me no seconds for shit acting like that. And I got it all on camera. You don't want that, like, trust me. You stupid, he did it all on camera, Cam. So the world looking at me because of bars you mouth right now, but in a few seconds, if I wanted to do an HBO or do anything, his whole career is fucked. Everybody's looking at me like the man.
That's what you, what's the end game, bro? Like, you feel me?
I'm suing this shit out of here. That was my game, and regardless, I ain't gonna give a fuck about no police, nigga. I'm going against a multi-millionaire that's trying to kill me.
So,
You were playing a small clip of this by the defense that only had the I'm suing the shit out of him. That was my game regardless. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Would you agree that that clip alone, just by itself, doesn't put the rest of the conversation in context?
Objection to that.
Still no ground, Your Honor. The objection to that.
The objection is, that's an improper question, but that was an impeachment question, what I asked there.
That's not a legal objection. Your Honor, I keep asking you, but
If you want, when the defense is asking questions, if you just want to say objection without a legal ground, I could probably infer what the legal ground is. I want to move the case along.
Your Honor, I'm just asking, the court has said they've ordered both sides. We're lawyers.
Right.
I can't respond when he doesn't give legal ground. The court makes me an offer that I don't say legal ground. That's not the rule of court. I say legal ground because I'm a lawyer. He simply says objection.
So what do you suggest?
He give a legal ground, as you told him.
And if he doesn't?
Then the objection is overruled. According to the evidence code and the rules of court. The court knows that. I'm not telling the court anything the court's not aware of. That's all I'm asking, Judge. Just say ground. And instead we get along.
I heard you.
Okay.
Proceed.
All right.
Besides suing somebody like that, you feel me? Now he gotta face the consequences of that because he wanted to be a gangster and run out his crib like that. That has nothing to do with me. You feel me? I did my part. If you get it on my end, what else am I supposed to do?
like splash that shit in the streets, type shit that has money.
Ain't no street nigga. Bro, what the fuck?
I feel okay.
You know what?
What did you mean when you said, I feel I mean like squash that shit in the streets type shit? What does that mean?
I think that's another cultural thing that you kind of wouldn't understand that we use, where it's really mediating situations among ourselves.
Your Honor, can you instruct the witness to answer the question? That's not an answer.
And refrain from suggesting to Mr. Lewin or anybody else what they would or would not understand. Just answer the question directly. Ask the question.
It's hard to answer someone.
Do your best.
Sir, I'm asking you to listen to my question, what you meant, what you said. I'm not
Oh,
asking
love
you to
angel.
respond that you were mediating. That's not answering the question. I'm actually asking you to tell me that I wouldn't understand it. You said the words. What did you mean?
Meant to find a resolution.
What specifically does it mean? Squash that shit in the street type shit. What does that mean?
Keep mentioning what it means, and I'm telling you, within our culture, it needs to find a resolution.
Yes.
You
He's
wouldn't
answered
understand.
the question and move on.
And the
He
resolution
answered the question.
that you've already advised
You're
him
pissing me
of
off.
is
Sorry, guys.
get some
I'm
paper,
sorry.
get some money, and keep the
That's
confidentiality.
not what it means.
I
You're trying to put words in a black man's
different
mouth.
options as well.
What other option did you list, sir, besides get the money? What other option did you list in?
Have a conversation.
Have a conversation. So you're mediating, and your solution is, after the victim has been shot at, your solution is he should either get some money or have a conversation with the defendant. Is that correct?
Yeah, he said squash the beef. Yeah, squash it.
There's more solutions, but yes.
Well, I'm asking, what solution specifically during this call, other than get some money, did you offer to Rowley to solve the situation? Maybe one.
I think it's all. The situation, yeah, just talk.
You're aware that Rowley has told you that they went to talk and the defendant pulled a gun on him and then shot at him a couple of minutes later the last time they talked. You're aware of that, correct?
But over time, people's sensitivity and feelings kind of change, so you can come to a common ground and talk.
So your advice to Rowley was, sit down with the defendant, whether he shot you or not, because times change, we need to keep the police out of it, and we need to settle this amongst ourselves. That's pretty much your advice?
Trying to mediate the situation so we can talk,
Okay.
so there's a better resolution in the circuits.
Wait, a circus, or you mean a lawsuit where the defendant might suffer adverse consequences? Or a criminal case where you might suffer adverse consequences?
I just need a resolution.
What do you mean you just said a circus?
Just really high publicity, public things.
Well, and in fact, you had this conversation in May. That was just a short time after it was publicly revealed. You're aware now, you've been watching the trial, you said a lot of the trial. You're aware that originally when this case happened in November, that Rowley was not identified. But in April 2022, it went all over the media saying that Rowley was the guy involved, calling him a snitch, calling him a rat. You're aware of that now, correct?
Time to move on. Were you aware of that?
I was aware when he told
Go,
me,
Judge.
When did you say that?
he told me about the situation on the phone call.
Go ahead, Bud.
And we just, this ain't no street nigga, man. You got 3 or 4 bodyguards, bro. Come on, don't do that.
I feel you, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that. This man riding around with, come on. What street shit do he do, bro? This is a street nigga, you already know what would happen. Everybody know what would happen. We're talking about A$AP Rocky, bro. The case of Dior, like, come on, stop it.
Man, I'm just trying to, cause I fuck with you heavy, bro. Like, so it's not every time, nigga, and I fuck with
Yeah, but I'm trying to let people know, and the bunch was close by him. This ain't no, he ain't no gangster, bro, this ain't no gangster. If this was a gangster, this would be handled in the streets.
So I niggas
They
like,
got 3 or 4 bodyguards running 24/7.
like, what's the next though, bro? Like, niggas go to court, you feel me? Like, I'm not just watching
He's
shit.
finished. He's finished. You gotta do,
Why not just ask for the bribe, or,
I try to.
I want the court to understand that I will absolutely finish, Your Honor, by 5:30. I'll be done. So I'm just asking the court, because I need to ask these questions, I'm asking the court for the same leeway that the defense got with Rowley, who's on stand in 5 days. So I will be done, I promise, by 5:30. So I'm just asking this, I'm asking these questions.
That man ain't making his flight.
If there's a general objection, it's the same, the court is absolutely move on. For the general objection.
Because there comes a point where it appears to me that you fully explored the issue and it is time to move.
Yes. Go, Judge, go.
What you are intending to accomplish.
Okay.
And there's no reason to keep on that same issue. And again, at the end of the case, when you argue to the jury, when Mr. Tacopina argues to the jury, argue reasonable inferences.
Well, what's the problem is I need to confront the witness with what I'm saying. So I'll be done by 5:30, Ron. I just want to let the court know that. You have my word. If I'm not, you can stop me. With no argument, nothing back. So, what did you mean where it says, do you feel me, like, why not squash this shit? What does that mean?
Didn't I answer this? I think it meant to mediate the situation and find a resolution.
It meant to keep this, you then say, right before it, you said, what's next though, bro? Like, ends go to court? You're telling him what's gonna happen is, this case is gonna end up in court, and you're telling him you want to squash it before it gets to court, correct?
I'm asking him what his process was, and he's telling me.
Okay, but
Bro, and you don't ask for the bag because that's extortion, bro.
Hold on, sorry. Does everybody understand that you don't have a page 16 in your transcription? It's going to be up on the screen.
I can make it a little clearer.
Did everyone see it or no?
No.
Jamaica, you got it, girl.
Are you able to eliminate
I'm assuming you're a girl.
Yes,
the picture,
yes.
the center?
Here's the thing, you don't get a time limit for cross or recross. But if the judge feels like you keep
Did everyone
asking the
see
same
now?
questions over and over,
Also, it's
ask
also
his
right
answered
behind.
objection.
To
So he
your
will make
right,
you move on.
Your Honor, if jurors, if it's easier for them to see, can they stand and see
Sure, yes.
on if that's easier?
Thank you. Put that transcript up. It's way better.
All right.
When you got somebody that's shooting at you, you ever look, bro, I'm smart, bro. You gotta understand, I'm not no dumb black nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? You ask for a bag without a lawyer, bro, it's called extortion. You feel me? You're gonna do everything accordingly. Everything accordingly, or it's gonna catch up with you.
I feel, bro, that
You ask for a bag without a lawyer. It's called
And this-
extortion,
right
bro.
after this call, you called the defendant and told him.
That's why I got a lawyer.
I'm trying to think if a niggas could like help out.
Correct?
What'd you say?
Right after you finish this call, you call the defendant, you tell him, here's what's going on, here's what Relly said.
Right.
When's the next time you talk to Relly after that?
Didn't we answer that? I think it was August 2022, right?
So what you're saying is now, whenever you call him, you got that tape recorder ready to go, right?
Well, I think you're missing what I'm telling you.
Motion to strike is non-responsive.
Sustain.
Listen to my question. So what you're saying is, the next time you call him, you got that tape recorder ready to go, is that right?
He called me multiple times and I missed that call back.
Motion to strike is non-responsive.
What he's asking you is a yes or no. Gotcha. So go ahead and ask it again.
The next time you call him, in August 2020, that's the next time you spoke to him, correct?
Correct.
And you had the tape recorder ready to go, correct?
No.
Did you tape him?
Yes.
So you were able, he calls you, I'm sorry, you call him. You made a call, right?
Yes, back.
Motion to strike is non-responsive.
I didn't hear it.
He said back instead of he's asking.
Right, back.
Well,
It doesn't
so the
matter.
whole answer is non-responsive. It calls for yes or no.
Did you call him back?
Yes.
And when you called him back, you immediately were recording what he was saying, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's play the next call, please.
All right, I'm gonna ask to mark the transcript for the first part of the August 16, 2022 call, and that's equals 30.
Which is the first part? Because there's two August 16 transcripts.
There, the first part is the audio file is IMG_07942. So it ends with a 2.
That's the first part?
And the transcript for that audio clip will be 30. And I have copies for the jurors to pass out. The staples aren't totally flat, so don't put yourself on them.
No, Taco won't go tonight. No, I think they're just gonna close out. I think Taco would be tomorrow. They're gonna close out with this guy but Taco will get a chance to redirect. Well, I'll say this. I know they're trying to stop at 5:30. Yeah, Wally ain't budging. Wally is not playing with these people.
Everywhere.
Anybody have a transcript?
Yo, shit, nigga.
Come on,
Shit, man, where you at? Shit, man, I just hopped on the computer and shit. I was gonna submit them links and shit. You know what links you want to do, or you want me to take them shits?
Yeah, shit, time. I'll be the one from Rolling Stone, all those other publications.
just pick the top ones, probably right, like TMZ or some shit.
Mm-hmm. And then when I get it, you know, I'm gonna tell you sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna just try to get that shit to me for me. So you got it's a lot.
Yo, what's your overall thoughts on this shit though? Like coming from that, like you with Rocky, like fuck all that other shit. You think I'm wrong, bro?
Bro, like, you feel me? Because niggas don't even know I'm talking to you, bro. So, like, real talk, like.
So on page 2, you start off by telling me, you suggest right off the top that you're gonna submit those links. Those are links to the media stuff that you and Relly talked about, correct?
Correct.
So you're telling him you're gonna get his story out into the media, is that right?
Okay.
Yes, that's what he wanted.
But in actuality, while you're doing this, you're taping him, and after this call, you're gonna tell the defendant exactly what he told you, is that right?
Correct.
And in fact, on page 3, you straight lie to him, and you say, bro, like you feel me, because ends don't even know I'm talking to you, bro. You're saying the defendant doesn't know that you're talking to him, correct?
Niggas doesn't need the defendant. Niggas can be people.
Listen to me, I'm not asking you what it can mean, I'm saying what it meant here. is what
I'm
it
telling
meant.
you that.
He's telling
I'm
you.
not asking for you to get the case.
That's what he meant by it.
What I believe you meant by it, sir, was you are telling him that Rocky does not know that he's talking to you, correct?
I think I just answered that, where niggas, another cultural thing,
Won't you
means
start
people,
my response?
doesn't mean the defendant.
Just a minute.
Listen to my question. Isn't it true that by saying, in this time, during this conversation, not in general, when you say, bro, like you feel me, because ends don't even know I'm talking to you, bro, you are saying to him that the defendant does not know that you are talking to him.
No, and there's also a plural there, so defendant is singular.
And right after that, you literally say, so like real talk, like I'm even trying to play both sides. That is referring to Relly and the defendant, correct?
I think I just answered where niggas to me in this.
Motion to strike is non-responsive. These instructions
Oh my
are
God,
to
stop
answer the
yelling.
question you
Why
asked
are
for
you
me.
yelling?
You mean the witness?
My God.
I'm being as big as I can, but I want my question
It's
answered.
very important that if he asks you a yes or no question, that you ask yes or no, and don't volunteer it. I understand that.
Sheesh.
Well, what he's asking is yes or no.
Can you ask again?
Isn't it true that when you said, bro, like you feel me, because ends don't even know I'm talking to you, bro, so like real talk, like I ain't even trying to play both sides. You are saying to him that the defendant does not know that you are talking to Rob.
No. Just told you.
No, that's not what it meant. So you're saying, no, that's not what it meant.
No, because
Objection asked and answered.
I literally just told you.
Stop. The objection sustained. Then ask him what he did mean.
So I want to ask you what you meant
It's-
specifically by that comment.
it's cross-exam. He can lead the witness.
General statement
He's
about
supposed to lead the witness.
mediation. What did you specifically mean by that those words in that comment?
Mediation.
People, friends, niggas with an S is plural, didn't mean the singular to the defendant.
So what did it mean when immediately after that you say, I'm even trying to play both sides? What side are you talking about?
Which line did you say? So I can read.
It's directly after what I just read to you, page 3,
Yeah,
lines 8, and it goes through 12.
yeah, that line doesn't have to do with the first one, right? It's just me saying, within the mediation, I'm not trying to take both sides.
And by both sides, you mean the defendant and Terrell, correct? Those are the two sides.
Correct.
So when you are saying I'm even trying to take both sides right after saying that basically ends don't even know that I'm talking to you, bro. You are saying the defendant does not know that I'm talking to you, and I'm not trying to take sides.
Objection has been answered, suspend.
Go ahead.
I don't, I ain't even trying to play both sides. I'm just a genuine nigga that needs all, you feel me? So, like, I honestly think it just looks like bad on both y'all niggas' names, you feel me? Like, if you thought I'm from mad at, like, real shit, it don't even matter how, like, well, like, I'm almost, like, looking with the...
See, I'm not even looking at it like a person's name. I'm looking at the circumstances, you know what I mean? Cause I'm still not understand. I even still try to reach out to these people, to John and all of that, like I could have went straight to the boys and did all that extra shit in the beginning, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, really, bro.
I just think that his fame and his legacy, like, and like how my lawyers.
What was just played, where Terrell told you that he didn't even reach out to the boys originally. You agree, he's telling you that he didn't reach out to the police originally.
Can you start referring to the line so I can read what you're
Right.
reading?
These are educated Negroes. We know how to read.
Black's Foundation speculation, by personal knowledge, he can't speak to what the witness, speak to the other.
Well, Mr. Sajimi just asked to be referred to a line, so do that. Which line are you referring to?
Point of moment, Your Honor.
And on page 4?
Not enough.
1 second, Your Honor. Lines 2 through 5, Your Honor. With respect to the objection, the witness has repeatedly stated that I can't understand what exactly he means in these conversations. So I have to ask, because he refuses to acknowledge the plain words.
You're entitled to ask,
So what do you mean by that?
well, that's Terrell Efron.
Is it true that what Terrell was telling you was that he tried to keep the police out of it and handle it without their involvement?
Right, again, objection, same objection, speculation like foundation, he can't speak for what's in overall.
That's what he said. Can't tell me what he meant.
But what, the way you took that is he's telling you, hey, I could have went straight to the boys. That means I could have went straight to the police, correct?
Yeah.
Okay? But he says he did all that extra shit from the beginning. So he's telling you, I could have done that, but I didn't. That's what he's saying, correct?
That's what he said.
Okay.
I could restart your honor, I think it's close to the response.
Did you roast you?
Things and his legacy, like, and like how my lawyers were saying, it's the fact that it's just my skin color, people thinking that I'm supposed to be at a certain, which is like crash, like people expect black people to be crash test dummies, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, oh, you a hood nigga, oh, you supposed to be like this, like, what?
yeah, what you doing? Like, bro, I think niggas should just resolve that shit.
Oh, baby, we're gonna get into it. That is the best question I've seen all
That's what
hour.
I tried.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, I tried. He didn't even reach out to me or nothing. Like, this is nothing. Like, he's still thinking that this shit is a joke. He's gonna find out when he go to preliminary hearing, and that's when he's gonna try to. His people are gonna try to reach out because they're gonna realize how bad this shit is.
How much money you looking for? Like, what you doing?
It's not how much I'm looking for. It's what I'm suing for. What stands in the bracket to what it is.
I feel.
You know what I'm saying? But it comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of different reasons. It's 4 different lawsuits.
I feel what you thinking. Like, how you thinking that shit look though? Like, you feel me? Like Like, just like, you know, from the perspective of just like outside looking in, you feel me? Like,
I feel good because I know who it is. I don't never look out for nobody. He really not who people think they like. When the smoke clears, he's not that person. You get what I'm saying? So if he would have did, you gotta understand. I knew Rocky before anybody. He knew my brother died. He knew I was fucked up. He knew Tom Bates was fucked up. He knew a lot of people. He knew everybody's situation. This man is Mr. 6 months. You know what I'm saying? He come around, he tell you, yeah, he gonna fix shit, and you don't even have to put money to fix shit. And then guess what? You don't see Rocky for another 6 months. He got a new body, or see a new situation. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he robbed people to sleep so much, how can you even feel sympathy? You get what I'm saying? Because when do I get my sympathy? You get what I'm saying?
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why you don't just take like a couple heads and chill? You feel me? Like,
it's not to me. That's not the way how it goes. When you do a lost law, I try to do it that way. You see what you said when I said you that, what's your card?
yeah, I feel. How about now? You feel me? How about now? You feel me?
It's too late. Like, it's too late. My lawsuit is still there already with the, like,
Tiffany, I got you. Oh, I got my notes. I got you.
The police, the evidence, but you can't sue somebody with circumstances like that without criminal actions because it's such a heinous crime.
So when you go like withdraw the lawsuit type of shit, and then or just settle type of shit, you feel me?
No. He would settle, and then that means that I would go to court or wouldn't do anything, and you have to go against the state, and it would be way less.
Yeah, man.
So that's attempt murder. That's not like me and you chilling together. We had an argument, and then a fight broke out, and a gun came out. He purposely knew what he was doing. When you purposely know what you're doing, that's a whole different ballgame. You get what I'm saying? And I'm still feel sympathetic for this man because I know him. I know what he's fucking enduring. But he told me, fuck off, go to the police. He told me this type of shit. If I was to put that out, when I sent you, if I was to put that out to the world, bro, they would laugh at him. I'm not the toughest nigga in the world. I don't know but too many gangster niggas that's gonna come at Rocky. He's a millionaire, bro. That shit can come from anywhere. He decided to fire on me. That was the worst thing ever. He should have had somebody who did that because when you do that, that means not only are you jeopardizing your career, you're jeopardizing yourself and everybody you around. So you gotta take that thought out. Because that's the only way I would do it.
Yeah, man.
Like, who gets cool after somebody fired on you 5 times, bro? Nobody.
Yeah, even if niggas like settle, you feel me? Like,
then none of that could come out. None of that could come out then because I can put it up, but then that's what I'm signing the NDA for, and that's what my lawsuit takes away. You get what I'm saying?
So why are niggas gonna do that? Like, you know,
he's waiting to go to the very hearing because he don't know. Rocky don't even know the shit I sent you like that.
I mean, we're out of fights all day and shit and figure out, like. So
I don't even want to know message with him like that because he had over to reach out to me, bro. I'm not the hardest person to reach. You know what I'm saying? He chose to do that. Like, when you see what I just sent you the other day, how he reacted off of me hitting up John to try to figure out what we're going to do here before I even get a point or anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he don't want to hear nothing from nobody, bro. Until like some people is like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, to the shit.
And I don't want to jeopardize what you have going on, anything that you spoke to me. Like, don't even put yourself involved in this shit, bro. Plus, Rocky will start looking at you funny, and I don't need you feeling like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just trickled down at everyone, you feel me? Like, you looking at girl, you feel me?
I got a lot to break down, but I don't want us to miss any testimony. I will be breaking it down, and I'm going to add timestamps at the end of this.
All right, this is what's the audio is IMG0794.
He did poke the bear. He absolutely poked the bear.
All right. March, so the last transcript is 30.
And it is a short, much shorter call. That was part two. This one's
He said he got 12 minutes left. Yeah, he need to hurry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so true. BC said, I feel like I'm listening to a scene in Belly.
Yes.
For real.
I think it's, as he said, the end of the call, because he had to cut it up.
Tell him. Sorry, guys.
I'm trying to think of things to like help out and like try to talk to the nigga. You told me to like, bro, he's not even a talkable person, bro. I'm gonna be honest, especially with this type of state of mind. He got 2 more days to you to quit. I could probably talk to him and shit and figure out, you know, like, so I don't even want to message with him like that because he had more than bro. I had over a year to reach out to me, bro. I'm not the hardest person to reach. You get what I'm saying? He chose to do that. Like, and we see what I just sent you the other day, how he reacted off of me hitting up John to try to figure out what we're going to do here before I even get up a lawyer or anything. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he don't want to hear nothing from nobody, bro. And to like, some people is like that. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Shit, and I don't want to jeopardize what you have going on and thinking that you spoke to me. Like, don't even put yourself involved in this shit, bro. Plus,
I'll explain. Give me a break. What's
I start looking at you for you. I don't need you feeling like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it just trickled down to everyone. You feel me? Like, even if you didn't do it, you feel me? Like, everybody's who worked for him. You feel me?
That's true.
So everybody who worked for him, but he did that because he's stingy, bro. I can't not do what I'm doing and think about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta worry about myself and worry about what the fuck happened to me. He wasn't thinking about nobody. Everybody's thinking like that, but then when it comes out, the niggas are gonna really start hating him because, bro, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself out there to do something like that where it's unforgivable, bro? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this ain't something like, if I'm fighting, you punch me, I can sue you, you don't go to jail, bro, you fired on me. Yeah, niggas not trying to go to jail, that's what I'm saying. Like, niggas are constantly resolution. But they thinking about how much you want to get and shit, you don't even know. I already know. I'm here 30 M's. Yeah. That's crazy, son. That's crazy. Yeah, we're 30 M's. That's why I'm not like, you feel me? I'm a smart nigga, bro. I was gonna say, but what the cops gonna say? You feel me? Because niggas are trying to go to jail type shit. Like, he's gonna have to deal with that and his political ties and everything else. Because once I walk away, when I get my cash, the case is weaker. It's just like a domestic violence case. If you was to hit your bitch and your bitch was to keep on going through with the situation, you go down. But if you're not there, then you go against the state and it's way weaker. At the question, what's going on that court? You feel me? Like,
welcome to the top floor.
That was against the state type of shit. If I'm not there, if he pays me out via my lawsuit, I'll walk away. And then it's going to be a deal behind me because I'm trying to cut the highway to school accident. You get what I'm saying? They're going to be scrambling to find me because now they have to go against Rocky, the state. And here they have evidence in this answer, but it's not going to be the same when you present it to a jury and you don't have a complaining witness. You get what I'm saying? So now they're going to have to offer him a deal.
You repeatedly, during this conversation, kept going back to saying things like, and could drop the shit, means lawsuit, correct?
Yes, you know, immediate situation.
Would you agree that with what I just played you, there are approximately 10 different times where you suggest to Rel that he could drop this shit, drop the lawsuit? Would you agree?
It would not be the immediate situation, right?
Would you agree that in what I just played you a moment ago, this is on page 4 of the last transcript, he says, like, this ain't something like it was a fight and punching you. I can sue you, you're going to jail, bro, you're fired on me. And you respond, yeah. And not trying to go to jail. That's what I'm saying, like, and to find some resolution. You are saying to him that ASAP Rocky doesn't want to go to jail, and you are saying you want to find a resolution that involves money, correct?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying when people are charged with things, if they're not guilty, or if they're guilty, sometimes there are repercussions to jail. And let me finish. And I personally don't like seeing people go to jail. So.
200 miles.
All people going to jail if they shoot somebody?
No.
You don't want to go to jail for that, correct?
No, if you're guilty of a crime, you should go to jail within the justice system, right?
So your position, I just want to be clear with you, said, oh, your position is that if ASAP Rocky is guilty, if he did this, then he should be convicted.
Objection.
He's already said in his he said previously that he did not want anybody convicted of any crime where they went to jail. This goes to that was the first 5 minutes as he was examining.
The prosecutor is trying to establish that this guy's goal of the recording was to prevent Rocky from going to jail, not to allow the truth to come out. That's the gist of what the prosecutor's trying to bring home.
Yes, definitely.
Because what was recorded was so gosh darn bad.
That whether he committed this crime or not, you do not want him to be convicted.
Objection.
Let's go slide.
I think I answered this. If you're committed of a crime, there's repercussions, guilty and not guilty.
You're not answering the question.
Listen to my question.
Okay.
If he committed this crime, isn't it true that even if that's correct, even if he committed a crime, you do not want him to be convicted?
If he committed a crime, then he should be convicted.
And you're saying that's what you want, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, you said that you were here to mediate, right?
I think I said it 10 times now.
Yeah, and mediate means you
Get 'em.
talk to both sides, right?
Yes.
So when you tried to mediate with Jarrell on May 12th, and then you called the defendant, tell me about the conversation you had with him where you were mediating.
Who's him?
Rocky. Tell me about that conversation.
It's argumentative and he's yelling at them.
Oh, no.
And he is yelling at the witness. That is true.
Well, the conversation is I'm hearing his side.
And what was his side? What did he say?
He really just said it was really just an argument, and they felt differences between situations.
He admitted to you that he had shot at Relly, correct?
Incorrect.
Did he ever tell you during that conversation, hey, listen, it was a prop gun? Did he ever say that?
No.
Well, if you're trying to mediate and you're trying to figure out a resolution, and you
Good
talk to
point.
one party and you've heard what they have to say, then don't you have to go back to ASAP Rocky and say, hey, listen, Relly is saying you shot him. Did you not say that to him?
Mediating sometimes is hearing both sides and giving some options.
So what was the side he gave you?
Chew gum, yes. Eat
What did
no.
Rocky tell you how?
I just told you.
No, I want to know specifically, what exactly did he say?
Stop
how?
yelling.
Objection. Is there a reason he's yelling at the witness?
Is there a reason he's yelling
What
at the
exactly did he
witness?
tell you how?
I don't recall the specifics. I just told you the general overview.
You don't recall the specifics of whether ASAP Rocky told you whether he shot the defendant or not, the victim or not? You don't recall that?
No.
Yes, answer.
So he might have told you that he shot the victim, you just don't remember, is that correct?
Incorrect.
Well, so you just said you don't remember, now you're saying, no, he didn't tell me that he shot him. So
That's a
if
good way to
you
get that
don't
clarification.
remember, how do you know that's not what he said?
Well, I don't want to be wrong.
Well, so that's what I just told you, sir. As you sit here, sir, you said you were trying to mediate this dispute between Rocky and Relly. You talked to Relly, and Relly gave you a lengthy version of what happened on that November night, correct?
Correct.
So my question to you is, if you're going to mediate, you have to have asked Rocky what happened, correct?
I love y'all.
So what
I
you're
love y'all.
saying is, I asked him what happened, but I don't remember what he said, correct?
Correct. I said I don't remember the details.
And let me ask you, if he would have told you, hey, I shot him with a prop gun, you would sure as heck remember that, wouldn't you?
Not necessarily.
But he never said he
So
shot
you
him, and he
not
definitely didn't say
remember.
he shot him with a prop gun. He said
If
nothing.
ASAP Rocky was saying, hey, everything Relly said is not true, I shot him with a prop gun.
I don't recall specifics.
So as you sit here, you would agree that you understand, as I'm asking this question, that if you admit that ASAP Rocky either told you he shot Relly or admitted that it wasn't a prop gun, you understand that would be very bad.
Objection to relevancy of what this witness understands is bad for Rocky. You don't know what that question is.
That's
Now,
not,
speaking of Jeff,
Oh, okay.
the question,
let me read that question back.
the question goes to bias.
That's not about bias.
What's that?
It's not about bias. It's not about bias. It's asking for his opinion of what happened.
Yeah, this is philosophy.
The question is designed to elicit an answer, and the answer could go to bias and interest in the result of the trial.
The question you got that.
Yes.
So as you sit here, you would agree that you understand, as I'm asking this question, that if you admit that ASAP Rocky either told you he shot Relly or admitted that it wasn't a prop gun, you understand that would be very bad for you.
Fair question.
Yes, I understand.
It is still your testimony that as you sit here, that you have testified as an unbiased witness. Is that your testimony?
Yes.
You said that you don't recall specifically what ASAP Rocky told you during this mediation, correct?
Correct.
Let me ask you something. Do you believe, as you sit here, whether it's true or not, do you believe that it is reasonable that you can have a mediation with ASAP Rocky about what happened during this incident, and you have no memory of what he told you? Does that sound reasonable to you?
Yes.
That sounds reasonable.
Yes.
Nothing further.
Thank you, Lord.
Is this a formal mediation, sir? Were you a mediator?
This is this is direct examination.
Was this a formal, you just asked a million questions about this mediation. Were you performing a formal mediation?
No.
Okay. Now, let's get back to something. Sir, you were brought in here by the defense to authenticate 2 tapes, nothing more.
Objection is to leave.
Sustained.
Why were you brought in here by the defense?
To
That's gonna
verify.
call for speculation.
Overruled.
To verify.
Overruled.
To verify audio that was said by the victim that wasn't near him.
Okay. That you heard Mr. Efron say was fake?
Correct.
That's
Yes.
why you brought here?
Yes.
You were cross-examined for 2+ hours.
Objection, that's already been sustained.
Sustained.
So all those questions that you just asked for, how many minutes it was, sir?
Objection, argument, question can't be considered.
The question hasn't been asked yet. The question hasn't been asked yet. It's premature.
All the questions you just asked by Mr. Wu, did he once ask you,
Objection, argument.
did he ask the question?
You gotta let him finish the question. You gotta let him finish the question. No, don't talk to each other.
Here's the question. Did Mr. Lewin asked you once if you fabricated those tapes, like Mr. Efron swore to the jury?
Objection,
No.
objection, outside.
Overruled.
No, I never asked him.
Never asked you that. There's 2 things, by the way, on these transcripts that were, played that I would like to just ask about. I'm not gonna replay it because I want to get dry here in 5 minutes, okay? On page 7 of the, transcript prepared by the district attorney, which was the May 12th, 2022 transcript. If you find that, let me know, so. So you have one second for that. May 20.
May 12, 2022, page 7,
Yes, sir. On the top,
line
226.
what is it say?
Where Mr. Efron said, and this was played where you and the jury, whether I crippled him because he's a multi-millionaire, bro, I'm not having nobody shoot me where I'm taking it on the chin. And 2, I'm not about to spin on Rocky's block. I'm already a millionaire. And then he's that word. See that?
Yes,
Okay. So there he's telling you he's a millionaire.
yes.
Mr. Efron. Are you aware that he testified in this courtroom that what he told you was not true there?
Objection, relevance, it's also improper.
Sustained.
Love it. Get him. Get him. It's the truth.
On page 13 of the August 16th, 2022 transcript, and it's the 974-2, like this. 974-2, it's August 16th, 2022.
He is making me nervous.
Which page were you at?
Page 13.
Oh Lord, child.
Again, sir, this was played to you, the jury, and the Senate, not-
And y'all, they're wrapping this up so that this guy can get on a flight at least tomorrow and go back to Europe.
2 through 6.
They're so sick of each other.
Ms. Efron said to you in this recorded call, he chose to do that, like, and you seen what I just sent you the other day, how he reacted off of me hitting up John, trying to figure out what we're gonna do here before I even hit up the lawyer or anything. Did you see that?
Yes,
Did you hear that?
yes.
And who do you understand John to be?
Rocky's old manager.
Okay. And he's saying here, he hit up John before he even hit up a lawyer, right?
Yes.
The first question I asked you, one of the snippets I said to you earlier, and it was played in by the district attorney, and don't worry about the transcript, is that Mr. Efron said to you, you heard in this courtroom, both when I was asking you questions in the saloon. You know what I'm saying? You asked for a bag without a lawyer, bro, it's called extortion. Remember that?
Yes.
You missed a lot, a whole lot. Basically, the
Mr.
conclusion
Efron said to you, and you just heard it.
of the cross.
I'm getting 30 M's, the DA won't find me, I'll be relaxing on an island.
That part, that's what you missed.
What was that about?
I was gonna start from,
You can put those words in sound?
no.
This is outside the scope of cross, I never asked about any, I never asked about any, actual whether the words were real or not.
All right.
It's outside the scope, motion,
He's not gonna be able to come back for any more questions.
And are
Whether
you
it's outside the scope or not, it's a fair question.
Okay. The judge letting him ask things outside the scope.
You didn't come here to authenticate these tapes. You get 2
Hit the like, y'all.
business class tickets for 13-hour flights over the 30-second period.
objection, leading and argument.
All right.
It's leading.
It is.
Why'd you come here again, sir?
To verify, lies that were told in my name. and
Why?
Because audio was played to the victim and he was saying they were fake, so I wanted to confirm that they were real.
All right, no,
I have two questions, Your Honor.
2?
Yes.
Okay, what's question number 1?
Oh God.
I need
Question
to
number
say
one
my
is?
Question number 1 is going to be, in answering the questions that you were just asked, does any of the questions, do they change what happened on the night of November 6th?
Objection. It's no.
The answer is obviously
Well,
No.
well, you
My
are,
thing is,
when you say it's obviously, no, it doesn't mean.
the question goes without asking, without saying.
Right.
It can't change what happened in the past. Ask question number 2. It's an irrelevant question.
Yes. Literally.
As you sit here on that witness stand, answering questions, isn't it true that with every question you've been asked, you have been thinking, how is my answer going to impact whether or not that man is convicted?
Yes, sir.
No.
All right, folks, thank you again for staying over. We'll resume tomorrow at 10:30. Please don't discuss the case amongst yourself or anybody else, and we will resume tomorrow.
Woo! Wow, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me just summarize the foolishness that we just survived. Okay. The foolishness that we have just survived. Here we go. I gotta catch my breath. All right, the foolishness we just survived. I want to make sure I answer the questions that the chat has added. I really appreciate you guys for hanging there with me. Girl, exactly, Star Intuition. Lord, that was irrelevant. All right, so the gist of, so what just happened is they brought on the witness, Wally. I'm gonna call him Wally so it's not to be confused with Wale, the rapper.
What goes around comes around. And
no.
one day, you
No.
know, they'll be on the receiving end of everything that they're doing. You know, I'm 58
I don't know how
years
this
old and
came
I've
up.
been
This is
around
not
in
what I
business.
requested.
I may
No, this is not what I signed up for. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hold on one second. I'm just woo. Although I do love. There we go. We're just gonna leave that up. Hold on. Po baby. Po thing. All right. So what we just watched was the direct and cross-examination of the witness Wally. We'll call him Wally. So the gist, okay, so it was a surprise witness for the defense. Now, some people are confused and we're like, oh, has the prosecution rested? Because usually what happens is the prosecution calls all of their witnesses and then the defense begins calling theirs. Well, here, the prosecution has not rested. The reason they allowed him to go out of order was because he was located in Paris. They had to fly him directly from Paris, and he had some type of commitment that requires him to leave tonight, or he missed that flight. So now it's going to be early tomorrow morning, and they wanted to get that testimony in. So there's that. The significance of the testimony was that because yesterday, Relly, or not yesterday, but the last business day, Friday, defense attorney asked Relly a number of questions with regards to his conversation with Wally. Now, Relly did not know that the conversations were recorded, but in the conversations, he said some really significant things that go towards his motive for pursuing the criminal charges truly being to win his $30 million pending suit. I don't know. Let me just, this is a replay, so ignore that. So one of the important things that was brought out is that in that conversation, Relly said, oh, well, yeah, I got a lawyer because without a lawyer, without a lawyer, it's called extortion. First of all, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I'll be discussing that a little further this evening on my channel. There's a redirect at the end of this live. We're going to go straight into legal hot topics. I've got to talk about a few. But then secondly, they also discussed the fact that he made comments about how, oh yeah, if he just gives me this 30 million, I'll go away on the island. It'll be like a domestic violence victim. You won't see me. I won't be around and can't prosecute the case. So he'll be fine is the gist. Now, there was also a segment where so that's what was said, but then Relly denied that those things were said. So the defense attorney then sought to enter into evidence audio recording of Relly and Wally's conversation. Well, in order to do that, you have to play it first for the witness on the stand to allow them to identify themselves on the call. Relly heard his voice and immediately said, that's fake. That's fake. Okay. Because he said that's fake, it left the defense no choice but to try and locate Wally, because if they found Wally, they could get it into evidence. And that's what they did. He tried it. Baby, he tried it and lost. So in turn, with Wally, they were using Wally to confirm those important elements. Now, no, it's not still on. This is a replay from earlier. Oh, well, hold on. Let me just make sure. Hold on.
A lot of guns on the table that I was using.
Yeah.
So my question though was that the video was shot on October 19th, correct?
Yeah, no, this is a replay.
You said you were here on business, correct?
Yeah, that's a replay from this morning. But thank you guys. I really appreciate you. I love the chat. So I just wanted to make sure that I was not missing any real. He said, I don't like calling the man Dusty. If you knew what the Most High thought of that, you wouldn't say it. Okay. The fact that he went so hard on tape. So first, let's just talk about how hard so direct examination was with Rocky's lawyer. Cross-examination was with the state. And I think the state did a terrible job of keeping his cool. He acted flustered from inception. And what happens is when you act flustered like that as a lawyer, when you can't control the witness, it looks like you're losing, even if you may not be. It looked like he had gotten left hook, right hook, like he just gotten thrown all the way around as a prosecutor by the testimony that was given on direct, that he was just flustered. Like, okay, we got Court TV. Okay, let's see what Court TV has on here. Hold on. Let's see. We're day 6. Let's see what Court TV's got on here. I got Court TV on. This is what I see for Court TV. Let me show you. Yes, it's still live. There you go. Yes, it's still live, but it's nothing new. Okay. Yeah, it was live. It was just like a replay. It wasn't anything new. So also, in addition, there we go. In addition, woo, child. But I'll put the graphic up because I do love the graphics, just so y'all know what I'm talking about. Child, let me read some of these questions. BC wrote, so basically he talked about Relly wants the money. If someone really shot at you, would you want them walking on the street? He was going to get paid and walk away. I'm going to read some more comments. So we got this one. Hold on. This is a replay from this morning. So I don't want you guys to get confused by that. Yeah, these are just replays from the morning time, but we'll leave that up. Hold on. Here we go. Then we got, this makes Relly actually look a little better. I believe something happened, but that he got greedy. I'm going to come back to that. What does the speculation objection mean? Speculation objection means you don't know what you're talking about. You're out here guessing. So, like if they were to show or to ask what Wally, well, why do you think so-and-so said such and why do you think Relly said what he said? That's speculation. You're guessing. But what instead you can say is, based on your personal experience with Relly, what is your understanding of what his statement meant? That means that's just your understanding, as opposed to speculation is you guessing for the world. You can always give your understanding. It's kind of like if your mother says a hard head makes a soft behind. If someone says, well, what did she mean? That would be speculation, even though it's your mama. But if you say, what is your understanding of what your mama meant when she told you a hard head makes a soft behind? It means if I keep doing what I'm doing, she about to whoop me. Okay, I'm about to get a spanking spoon. It also says, if he staged this for some money, that's freaking crazy. Girl, please break this down. Even I'm confused. Oh yeah, the prosecution doesn't want the defense to have another shot before Wally has to go to Paris. Well, he got that. How is this going to look for Relly now that Relly has to admit this is him, although he said it was fake? All right, that is what I feel like was one of the defense's best points they made for the day. Is they tried to get the same thing in on Friday, but couldn't because Relly said it's not him. However, the way the state prosecutor was so frazzled and so all of that, everything, we all know there is no question that that was him. Because if it wasn't him, the state would not have gone so hard to prove the various points he was trying to prove. Yes, the prosecution, Black Gold, literally confirmed it was in fact Relly on the call. So yeah, he also referenced $30 million that you can't sue. You can't sue without it. And also F going to the police, he just wanted his money. He said all those kind of things. The prosecution was absolutely trying to clean up Relly's mess, but it already had to put into mention the lawsuit and the criminal case. Now, one of the issues was like, it was very clear. Either the prosecutor had no understanding of what this black man on the stand, not this one that we're seeing right now, but what Wally meant when Wally was discussing that he was trying to mediate this. And he was like, let bygones be bygones. When I tell you this is why DEI is critical on all levels, because it's diversity of experiences, of communities, of dialects, of vernaculars. We all know when you say, well, man, let bygones be bygones. The prosecutor was alleging that, oh, you were trying to say he wasn't actually shot, or you were trying to say that ASAP or that Relly should just forgive him for shooting him. No, I'm not. I'm trying to say y'all find a way to work it out and move forward, whatever that might be. So that was very odd to me that he said it 11 different ways. But also during the course of this, yeah, it's a hot mess. Now, some people have asked, well, what do I think the civil attorneys are going to do that are currently representing Relly? One of which is Camila, which is one of Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camila and someone named Ben. I think they're going to run really, really, really fast, run away. And they may wait for a little more of the dust to clear, but I don't anticipate them filing any more motions or doing anything substantial to move this civil case along unless we get a guilty verdict. Unless he gets a guilty verdict. But I'll say this overall, and then I'll do a little bit of legal hot topics while I'm tired, which is this. Course makes a good point. She said this, talking about the audio, makes Relly actually look a little better. I believe something happened, but that he got greedy. Agreed. Now, what's interesting is ASAP is facing 24 years, but the jury's not allowed to know that. Under the law, the jury is not allowed to find out the maximum time someone could be facing due to the fact that it's a chance they could get parole. They wouldn't necessarily have to do all that time. So literally, the prosecutors union has lobbied the state so that the jury never gets to find out how much time someone's actually facing. So the jury won't know that. But what I do believe after listening to this, after hearing the desperation in Relly's voice, especially with him not knowing that he was even being recorded, I think he was shot at. And I think two things can be true. I think he was shot at, and I think he got greedy. I think he was shot at, and I think 24 years is unreasonable. And I also think if he would have here's the problem. To me, it's very clear that if he would have paid the money, he isn't Rocky. If Rocky would have paid him, he wouldn't be here. Not only does that make you an unsympathetic victim, it makes you a greedy victim. This jury keeps hearing $30 million. $30 million. $30 million. $30 million is like, as an injury attorney, and you can give me a call, go to SimoneRedwine.com. You can schedule a consultation with me, etc. As an injury attorney for $30 million, sir, you need to be dead. You need to be dead. Why are you alive? You want $30 million? Nope. You need to be dead. I know dead people who did not receive $30 million in a trial verdict. So you really look ridiculous. You look ridiculous. But two things can be true. And here's the ultimate issue. If a jury, first of all, he's not dead. That's the first issue. And now, if he was dead, a jury always wants to find someone liable for someone's death, right? Because it's the ultimate punishment. But he ain't dead. He's alive. So second of all, given that he's alive, the second issue becomes, well, what sounds like it would be fair given these people's individual circumstances? And I think people are going to say, sir, you sat here, you got grace on the knuckles. You sat here testifying, moving your hands. Basically, he's like a church mime. I love Jesus. You know, he was moving his hands all the time. So all of that, a jury's going to have difficulty wanting him to win this so he can get 30 million over there. Meanwhile, these people had to take 2 weeks off from work, whether it was working at Subway or Amazon or Google or whatever they do. They had to take 2 weeks off from work, making $7 an hour because that's what you get paid for jury duty, something along them lines. And you, sir, for a knuckle graze, according to you, won $30 million. If you don't sit on attack and spin, sit on it. It's ridiculous. Hazel said, lady, I'm confused. Where's the medical record that proves the man was shot? Here's the thing. He didn't go to a hospital until 3 days later. What he did first is the same day, within an hour of it happening, he went back to the scene of the crime, according to him, and collected gunshot shell casings, 2 of them. Although they also showed video footage that he was at an LA gun range about 2 to 3 weeks before this incident, where he also could have picked up the same shell casings. After he picked up the shell casings, did he call the popos? No. He called a lawyer. Did he call a criminal lawyer? No. He called a civil lawyer because he wanted to talk about pursuing a lawsuit. That lawyer allegedly says to him, I can't take your case unless you're going to file a police report. He leaves town the next day, and the day after that, while in New York, files a police report. So he waits 2 days to file a police report, 3 days to see a hospital or to see a doctor. So there's that. He said on the phone he was shot at, not shot me. Exactly. So the other thing is you were shot at. So that's why he says he was grazed. Totally get it. The shot at says this is a friend who's trying to scare you and or break up a fight. Black Gold say give him 500 for ego, getting more bruised than his knuckles, for sure. Then it says, second of all, his injuries look like he was in a boxing match. That doesn't look like somebody who got shot. Again, what is it? Gunshot powder and so forth. They give you burns. They don't give you, it looks like a scab, a scar. So Hazel says, so I really don't know the definition of being shot for you Americans, because that doesn't make any sense. Shot at would be like, oh, dance, B, like shooting at my feet. And then shot is like attempt to shoot you. I do believe that ASAP, that Rocky shot towards him, wanted to make him dance, maybe little Sammy Davis Jr. I'm not sure. But it also states, why haven't they proved that Relly's injuries are credible? So here's the problem. Some attorneys are this is what happens when you got book smarts and not common sense. That's it. I feel like the lawyers in this case probably have a ton of book smarts, but their common sense, their ability to relate to an everyday juror appears to be lacking. Here's why. As you say, why haven't they proved Relly's injuries are credible? It doesn't seem plausible for him to have been grazed on 3. It was actually 2 fingers, 3 or 4 fingers from a shot. Well, you know what the prosecution has said? They said, we don't have to prove that the hand injury was from this incident. It's not an element of the crime. We don't have to prove it. Okay, that might be true. But if the jurors decide Relly was a liar and wasn't injured in that way, they will also decide we're not going to give his testimony credibility. So common sense needs to prevail in that area. So True Hebrew, I'm with you. But they said in opening, and they're going to say again in closing, whenever that happens, that they're not responsible for proving that the injuries were related. Okay, you don't have to prove it, and I don't have to find him guilty. How about that? He went to a hospital in New York. Yes, that's correct. Second of all, his injuries was yep. 30 million for scraped knuckles. That's the problem that we have. The amount asked for it was just utterly ridiculous. He said on the phone he was shot at and not shot me. He also said on the phone that he wanted 30 M's. I want to know who came up with the number 30 M's. Was it Rel or was it his lawyers? Whoever it was, they were out of touch. Yeah, he was a church mom. Is there video of it actually being Rocky that did the shooting or just Rocky running? They show Rocky with a gun in his hand. They show Rocky with a gun in his hand pushing him. That is what they show. They don't show, but that angle of the video, you can't see a shot. And Rocky's point is, oh, it's not a true gun. So whatever you hear or whatever, it ain't that. Yeah, you need some of your fingers gone for 30 minutes. You're not dead. I need you to be dead. If you want $30 million, go be dead. Right now, go be dead. He was shot and he wants to sue, period, which he's totally entitled to. Being shot and being shot at, I feel like are very close things, slight distinction. One is if the person so this is why it wasn't attempted murder. It was because it's way easier to prove that you shot in someone's direction and pulled out a gun. For aggravated assault with a semi-automatic, you don't ever have to shoot the thing. All you have to do is pull that bad boy out in a way in which you want the person who sees it to be scared of you. That's it. So somebody already said this, but Wally was a witness Relly should have been. Relly committed so many forced and unforced errors. I think, like you said, Relly was not properly prepped. He had no idea what he was walking into. And it sounds like the dollar amount that they wanted, even if he asked for 1 million, would have been reasonable. But I think the moment it happened, Relly's mind was like, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid. I'm gonna be rich, la, 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 oh. And yeah, and with that attitude, he had an unreasonable ask. I think both sides have something to hide. Yes, and we know on ASAP's side, what he's hiding, apparently, is the prop gun, because they have not submitted that. And I look forward to watching the arguments and the discussion with respect to what can and cannot be presented to the jury with respect to why no prop gun was admitted into evidence. Ken Wally asked the judge, why is he being questioned by the state? And his client said it wasn't him. No, Wally can't ask the judge anything due to the fact that he's the witness. He can ask the judge things. He can't ask anything argumentative. That is an excellent question, but it needs to be asked by ASAP's defense attorneys. Yeah, Relly was. Oh, what else do I have? I wrote. Oh yeah, I found it interesting that part of ASAP's response at one point they referenced was that he said, F off, go to the police. If you feel like I really did it, go to the police. But I really think that the defense attorney was very much not understanding that in our culture, that in our culture, hold on. When we say, let bygones be bygones, that literally is like, hey, let me see if I can mediate this. And by mediating it is, let's make it to where, like, y'all chill out. Nobody pulls any more guns on each other and nobody has to go to court. Literally, when I hear two Black people say, let's see if we can mediate this, let's let bygones be bygones, the ultimate goal is for nobody to have to go to court. That's that. Because this is stupid. All right, was right on the white Kyle Rittenhouse case. Yep. Hold on a second. I did not hear that the gun is fake. Yeah, Hazel Boo, girl, you've been missing. That is their whole defense. The defense is he's charged with aggravated assault with a semi-automatic weapon, and the defense is hey, it's not a semi-automatic, it's a prop gun. Because clear as day, he had a pow pow in his hand. Oh, another fact that today the state tried to really bring home and bring in his favor is Cheryl Ray. He said, Relly had said he was shot at 2 to 3 times in his original testimony. That's what he said originally. Then later, years later, he watched a video, heard audio, and realized it was only 2 times. But the part they wanted to bring home today is that even though he thought it was 3 or 4 times, he presented the cops with only 2 shell casings. Well, they're saying that because they want you to believe that those 2 shell casings were truly the shell casings from this incident. I think the state is going to have a lot of difficulty convincing 12 people that the victim himself returned to the scene of the crime without cops, was the only person to locate those shells, despite the cops searching the exact same area for similar things, for shell casings and stuff, and did not locate them. But lo and behold, the witness finds them, walks them into a police station. Oh, and then wants $30 million. Got it. Only after the witness had already contacted a civil attorney. How do we know he was shooting at him? We don't see that part. We just see the gun in his hand, the pow pow in his hand, etc. I can see suing for like 5,000, maybe 10. 30 is wildly reaching. Yeah, even 500,000. Because I can guarantee these lawyers were at least 250. In California, they were probably 5. Being litigious is not a bad thing. His legal moves are not textbook or Fred Astaire. The charges are grotesque, so it would be a loss of the state. I have no legal experience. But now do we see, guys in the chat, now do we see why ASAP did not want to take the plea deal? Also, Relly has been his friend since age 16. So he probably knew good and well, put a little pressure on that man. He gonna crack. He is going to crack. All right, so I'm about to wrap this live stream. There's an automatic redirect, so you don't have to go anywhere. We're going to do legal hot topics. There's a few cases. I'm going to talk about Dank, the big girl rapper, who an Uber wouldn't let her in. We're going to talk about a few things, but head on over. So I'm just going to hit into the stream, start the next one, so don't go anywhere. Bye, guys. This is your legal bestie, Attorney Simone.